Yeah.
So anyway, the Hodge twins video, he goes,
We're recording.
Good. We'll start out with this because this is funny.
Well, hang on. Okay.
I'll tell you what made me like the Hodge twins. Okay? Hodge twins.
Yeah.
Very funny. Okay? The video of them where they're reading people's emails, you know, because I'm sure they get all kinds of shit because of their viewpoints or whatever. And he goes, so-and-so says, he's holding his phone up, you know. He goes, my girlfriend wants to be dominated, but I'm confused. And he goes, why are you confused? What are you, a beta? And I was like, I felt attacked. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, that made me feel like I'm a beta the way he said that shit. And I liked him immediately as soon as I heard that shit.
I can't believe you're just now hearing these dudes.
Dude, to me, their little interaction, and that, you know, they do that weird twin shit where one of them's talking and the other one finishes the sentence for him or whatever, and it pisses the other one off. They don't like it. You know what I mean? He goes, that's my idea.
I still can't believe you guys are on TikTok.
I like TikTok, man. I really do. I watch it. I look at the app a lot. I see a lot of videos on it.
I got some buddies in a group message. They're always sending those out. I've never opened one of them.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Man, there are
I don't
some
trust
funny.
them.
It's just like Vine. It's basically exactly like Vine.
Yeah, it's just the next generation.
What
Vine.
happened to the Vine?
They dropped it.
TikTok will go away as well one day. It'll be something different.
You know, that's something too. Oh, do we need to do like an open
Maybe
monologue
not.
or something like that?
Maybe not. Maybe TikTok will be here for forever. Huh? Go ahead.
Are we gonna? Do we need to officially
Yes,
start?
I'm waiting for you to do something. I
Oh.
mean, surely you've come up with something, right, for us?
to start
Finally?
with?
Yeah, some kind of intro.
Anything?
Hanging in a challenge. I don't know.
That mic was
Welcome
hot.
back, everyone.
Hi.
I've been Klein.
I'm Uranus. Lucas Johnson here.
And we have a very special guest.
Rocky.
He's been on here too many times already.
He's become.
Yeah, I'm a guest at this point, but it's Rocky Pendergast. That's
Rocky Pendergast.
Yeah, that's going to be me tonight.
All right, Rocky. Thanks
Definitely not Trent Hardaway.
Definitely not Trent Hardaway.
Got a
Thanks
few-
for joining us.
Thank you for having
Well, there's
me.
Trent Hardaway right there, and that's definitely not you.
That guy's a specimen.
He is. He is.
Yeah. Whatever happened to him?
I think he. Well, I was going to come up with.
You know what?
I had something really funny to say, but I better not say it.
You know what was
I'm gonna
funny?
keep it to myself.
The other day I was talking.
Sorry.
Daniel Fleener had called me and just kind of out of the blue. I think he was asking me about that video of Gavin chasing that guy down, and so we were sitting there talking about. I can't remember, just talking back and forth, and he said, "Well, when are you guys going to do another podcast?" You know, I was like, we had. Trent, we did one with Trent here not too long ago, and he goes, "Yeah, man, what's old Big Cav's been up to?" And I was like, "That's random out of nowhere, you know." But,
Hey, that dude knows what I've been up to. He calls me all the
yeah,
time.
he's just messing around. He just likes to throw little odd things at me. You know how his sense of humor is, dude.
Oh,
It's funny.
yeah. He just calls me sometimes and say, hey, what's going on? I'm
Yeah.
like, not much.
I've told him I've set up something to go look at his new place. So I guess it's not new to him now. Like 3 times and haven't been able to do it yet. So
You can't do nothing. You've been invited through the years to barbecues, all kinds of stuff, and you just never can make it.
dude,
I don't get invited.
Yeah.
I get
Trent has barbecue. He's like, "Well, I'm not talking to you, Ben. I'm talking
goes,
to Lucas." Yeah, about that. Yeah, I don't invite you, Ben, but
It's funny. I don't know. Ben, for the podcast and all he does with social media, he is the most unsociable human being, face-to-face contact in the world.
well, isn't that kind of how it usually goes, though? I'm just saying. Usually, the people behind the mics are the ones that are.
I figured a hermit's a hermit, and they don't really care to interact on social media or anything if you don't want to talk to someone face-to-face.
I think it's got to do with maybe your the reason why you're antisocial. You know what I mean? I think that there's some people who are maybe dying to be able to talk. They just are too scared to or whatever. And then there's people that, like myself. Okay, one reason why I don't socialize a bunch, it's not to do anything with other people. It's me. I'm argumentative. I have opinions that I will just not share. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm the same way because
That's
I
what
mean,
I like. I always try to get like different, like random people together when we have a cookout or something to hear everybody's different opinion inside.
Yeah, but see, when I get in my ride and I leave
Yeah.
on the way home, I'm like, why did I even open my mouth?
No
Why
one
did I
cares.
even open my mouth?
But see, like Ryan Brindley, for me, it's funny. I can have a conversation with him once every 5 years, and I'll think about it for days after we have the conversation, and he won't even remember.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He changed a huge decision I was trying to make the last time, not whenever he was on the podcast, but when we went and shot the video for the
In
Dead Weight.
Overton.
Yeah, and he changed my mind on something I was trying to figure out. And I was like, when I see Ryan again, I'm going to thank him for his advice because randomly, you know what I mean? It like hit home what he said to me, and I was like, hell yeah. So when I walk up and I'm like, dude, you remember, man, whenever you said this, this, and this, it changed my mind. He's like, huh? He had no memory of it whatsoever.
We had a huge conversation that night.
Yeah, and you know what, dude? To be honest, he has some decent insight about things. You know what I mean? I have no slight towards him whatsoever. He had really changed my mind about something that he did not remember talking about.
That's crazy these days. We always talk about it too with politics or beliefs or anything. No one has ever said or argued on Facebook and the other person go, "You're
You're
absolutely
right.
No, you're right.
You're
Yeah.
right. I looked at this wrong the whole time."
Yeah, that's how I feel when I leave someone's house
Yeah.
after saying just how I feel, and no one's like, I'm not being argumentative, really. I'm just sharing
Your thoughts.
how I feel about things
Because
they're
you're
sharing as well.
wanting to dominate. You're wanting to
No.
you're wanting to win. You
No,
can't.
not really.
You gotta get
Honestly,
you gotta get in a group though where you can have your opinion, they have their opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and then you debate it and you discuss it, and then you just go on to the next thing, or you just don't even talk about anything that's combative or argumentative.
Well, I don't combat, or I'm not combative, and I don't really argue.
I've said things. I have deliberately said things because I know it will make somebody argue with me.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I've done that in conversation. I've done that to you.
Oh, I know
You know what I mean? I
a
just-
million
just-
times. Not long ago.
I'll go.
Not
I'll
long
get
ago.
off track just far enough
Not long
because
ago.
I know this
you
dude
know,
can be triggered
yeah,
like that. You know
no,
what I
no,
mean?
no. Yeah, but that's the thing. You think you're triggering me, but you're not. You know.
It's good to get.
But
like,
I act like I am because I know what you're trying to get out of me. I know what you're talking about too, and it is very funny. I was laughing so hard because I was like, "There's this dude does not. This is not him at all." But he
Well,
is acting like
I'll say this.
I won't even talk about it.
I'll
But it
say
was
this
very
though.
funny.
Now, whenever I have a viewpoint about something, and my viewpoints change, you know, I mean, from 5 years ago, even I would say, I'm a lot different person as far as I try to look at both sides of anything that we're talking about. You know, I objectively try to. And I kind of come up with my own thing, and a lot of times it's a mixture of the two arguments half the time. You know what I mean? Because I can see, I'm like, I understand what this dude's saying. I understand what this dude's saying. You know,
Right.
and so it's this argument inside myself. But over time, it'll evolve into what I kind of consider an opinion. But in the process of doing that, sometimes I know that there's people that I know that will not agree with what I end up coming up with. So I make sure and spring it on them whenever I'm talking to them the next time. You know what I mean? I definitely will go, you know, whatever their position is, I'll take the opposite position. You know what I mean? Just to
devil's advocate.
you know, yeah, just to run it up a little bit, you know, and keep everything nice and loosened up and, you know, going and all that.
Like I said, I like to get a bunch of different random people together. Not to say random, they're friends, but from different backgrounds, you know, this and that. Because I mean, if you're the same group, same people, same beliefs, you're just in an echo chamber, and everything you're telling yourself and they're telling you, like, yeah, this is verbatim, this is the way it is. And instead, like you said, looking at the other side and kind of forming your own opinion. Of course, you always fall back on you know your normal opinion most of the time.
I would rather just not talk about anything,
Anything.
any opinions or anything politics, political, anything political.
Well, like
I'd rather not.
when me and you do that, LJ gets mad and says, "No one knows what y'all's talking about," and he mutes us on the
Y'all
phone.
do that,
Yeah.
though. You guys have like your own little language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, nuh-uh, that's like whenever you threw that Jolly Rancher in the back of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
I told you then that it wasn't going to work that way. And everybody's like, nobody knows what y'all are talking about.
That's
you
how
know?
we don't argue. We just talk about stupid stuff in movies and music.
It was, and it's like that. That's what you guys do. It's like quoting movies, but it's like y'all are quoting a movie that only you two saw. You know what I mean?
Jason X.
Yeah.
Jason X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that may be true. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces.
It's a very good movie if you haven't watched it.
So when was the last podcast, by the way? Was it me?
No,
Who'd you have? You had Gavin.
Gavin.
Okay. Well, what's been going on since then? Let's catch up.
Well, there's a lot's been going on.
A lot.
But I will
a lot of different.
let's ever since well, let me start over here. Since Gavin has been on, let's talk about the biggest thing that's went on, and that's we started football season.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I got my air conditioning stuff in for my car. That's the biggest thing in my mind.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I'm playing. I'm kidding.
Let's talk about the air conditioning thing. You got
No, let's talk about sports. It's a lot more funner, you know.
Yeah,
more
but
funner.
let's talk about it real quick.
The air conditioner?
Yes.
I have all the parts in my possession. They came in this week. I'm going in the morning to start installing it in the car.
Do you have the orifice?
Yes.
Orifice tube.
Yeah. Do you have
Yes.
it? Okay.
How much is Freon these days?
I don't know.
I remember
you
Ben's
have the Freon?
grandfather buying like pallets of it before it got like sky high.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things though that what are
is.
you going to do? You know what I mean? I mean, it's like food.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what food costs, you got to get it somehow. So
How is there like the fluctuation in the price of Freon? I guess I don't know how Freon's produced. Like, I guess they have shortages of it at times, or the government comes down on the EPA. But Freon is one of those things that back in the day used to like ebb and flow the price of it, and people would buy it in bulk when they hit inside information is about to go up.
Well, they create a newer, more efficient one.
Yeah, all the time.
Right, and the price goes up.
well, that's like
It's more efficient, but it's way
It's
higher.
like Motorola these days. Back in the day, you had like 5W30 and 10W30 and straight 30. Now, like, we got 050, we got a little 2050, we got some stuff like,
We got 20.5,
Yeah.
50.
yeah, and you're like, dude, just give me some oil. And they're like, no, you got to run this. I'm like, everybody ran vehicles for thousands of years. That my Toyota takes 2050. I'm like, what is this stuff?
I just run full synthetic. I don't know. You know what I mean? I always just because it doesn't have any dirty stuff from the earth in it. So I'm like, give me that stuff. You
So
know
they
what I mean?
say, so you have all the AC parts,
everything. Yes.
and you're going to have it done tomorrow?
I'm going to begin on it
Oh, okay.
tomorrow.
It's hot out there, dude.
Well, I mean,
not that hot.
I've never installed air conditioning in a car, so that you're
Okay.
going to have that. You know what I mean? And I got to install a pulley system. You know, of course, all the components, man.
What are you
Everything under
thinking?
the dash.
How long, how many hours do you think this is going to take you?
If I had to guess,
I mean, actual work on it.
15 hours.
Okay.
So if you're a mechanic, what is mechanic rates these days? $75, $80?
Well, you have to. I think they do it. There's like a set amount of time to do a certain
Oh,
job.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, okay. You got a '98 Astrovan. Well, then if you want to replace the radiator, it takes 2 hours, and that's all you can charge. Have a great day. You're like, there's no way I can do it that fast. Well, too bad. I don't know.
Good
Shouldn't
thing
be
mine-
screwing old ladies over, and people are like, I never screwed an old lady over. You know. So, but
So you're pretty excited. I'm pretty excited because we're going to do a podcast in the Lamar as soon as you get it
I'll
finished.
probably paint it before we do that because it's basically ready for paint. So I'm painting it myself.
It's never happening.
I'm painting it myself. Let me tell you this.
Please tell me you got the gun from O'Reilly's.
No, I'm Harbor Freight.
Oh man,
$15, man.
now you got to go to get that O'Reilly's, man. You know how many vehicles I painted with that crap O'Reilly's gun back in the
Well,
day?
it sounds like you got a pretty crap,
Well,
pretty crap paint
yeah,
gun.
they've got
you said
those-
$15. Okay.
the little gravity feed ones.
Yeah.
Now, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos of like versus.
Oh well, then you're good then.
Yeah, and these guys are like, I sprayed with this $300 or $600 gun, and I sprayed with this $15 gun. The difference is this one will spray one paint job, this one will spray 3,000 paint jobs. You know what I mean? They just last better or whatever. Because they're talking about the tips being, as long as the tip's the same, clean air, all the prep is the big thing, supposedly. And even Chris told me, I talked to him about it. I was like, thinking about using a cheap gun. He's like, hell yeah, that'll work. He's
Yeah,
like,
I was talking to Chris the other day about guns. For some reason, we were talking about paint and stuff, and yeah, the way they're clean these days and stuff. Like, man, like paint is one of those things that all the time is changing too, and the equipment it seems.
Chris didn't have a gun you could borrow?
why would I do that?
Just figured you had top of the line,
Well,
something you could borrow.
It will break. It will get messed up. Something will
that's-
happen.
Yeah, that's my luck too.
I don't borrow tools from anybody,
Right.
and I'll tell you why, man. Because
They break.
inevitably, I'm going to need it again at some point. You know what I mean? Or I don't want to have to go, ooh, I forgot to give that back. I can't talk to him for until I think to give it back to him, so I can skip all that. So.
That's understandable. I'm sure Chris is. I'm sure he's very thankful that you don't ask to borrow stuff. I hope.
Abe would let me. He told me, he said, get all your stuff, Bring it to Indy, we'll paint it. I was like,
Nice.
but I'm not going to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's an awesome offer.
Yeah.
And I had nothing against Chris. And I mean, he absolutely knows what he's doing and all those things like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go hog in there in his shop and go, well, scoot all your shit out of the way so I can paint my car. You know?
I feel attacked right now. My mower has been in the shop for like 2 weeks down there.
Well, I'm talking about, though,
Are you
having to set up
painting
and
it?
paint. Though.
Nah, I was just doing some upgrades and stuff to it, and yeah, I did that. And you're talking about borrowing stuff too. Yeah, I bought a side by side the other day, and I had to borrow Eric's trailer. So I went to Ardmore and got this side by side. Went to the house, just left the trailer there over the night. And the next day, I was going to the shop to meet Chris, work on some stuff at the shop, and ran to O'Reilly's, ran to Kai Mishi, and I pulled up to the shop, and Chris goes, "You have a flat?" I said, "What?" And he goes, "You're missing a trailer tire." And I was like, "What? No, whatever." So I walk out there. Yep, no trailer tire. I was like, "Oh, crap." It's like it hit a kid, flew off. It hit a kid. It's in an old lady's front yard or something, in her window. So I backtracked to O'Reilly's, Kai Mishi. Can't find it nowhere. I'm like, gosh, I got to buy a new tire, new rim. And I was like, there's no way it's still at my house. So I go back to my house, and as I pulled out of the driveway and went by my front yard, it was laying in my front yard. I guess as I made that corner out of my driveway, the hub gave out, just rolled up in my yard.
Damn, man.
I was like,
You got
nah.
lucky.
Yeah. Didn't kill nobody. I felt
Yeah.
really good.
And you found it.
I think about it every time I pass somebody pulling a trailer, dude. For real.
Yeah.
I'm ready for something to fly off and kill me every time.
I feel like that's a bad system that we just run, like trailers.
It's happened in Latimer County.
Yeah.
Went off a truck and went through the windshield and killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, when one goes out, like that's what they do. They just fly off.
I think she was a college student, wasn't she?
I don't remember it happening.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you don't borrow people's stuff right there, like you said.
Well, it's like anything else, man. I mean, trailer maintenance, part of owning one, and my dad taught me this my whole life, is about once a year, you should, most people don't, but you should go back, repack your bearings.
That's what me and Chris and Eric did after I went and bought a new hub and seals. We repacked all the bearings on this trailer.
It's a pain in the ass. It's not fun. There's nothing glamorous. It's like buying tires. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, dude.
Bought tires today. You living in my life right now?
I'm telling you, man. I'm an old man. I've done all this shit already, you know?
Dude, that's another thing. We at the tire shop, me and this guy, it's funny, it's me and this older gentleman, we just talking. It's my wife's vehicle, and I dropped it off for her to get alignment and new tires. Well, she come to pick me up, and she's like, "What are you doing talking to Sandy's dad?" And I was like, I didn't know that was Sandy's dad, a friend of hers. We were talking about gardening and tires, and I was like, hey, I remember being like 16 and going and have to get some new Cooper Cobras because all the back tread of mine were gone. And like $50 a tire? Are you kidding me? How am I going to afford that? Now tires like $250 a pop.
Yeah. Like the 22s for our little Tahoe that we've got. I thought it was, one of the nicer vehicles that we've owned. I was really excited about it. Well, it had one new tire on it and 3 old tires. Okay, well, the one new tire we haven't had a flat on. We ruined all 3 of those old tires within a couple of months of owning that thing. I've bought 3 tires for that vehicle since I've owned it.
And they're proud of them 22.
$300 a pop. And those are for not even the good ones, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm willing to save some money to put my family's, my family will be all right if they blow out or whatever.
Yeah. No one's ever wrecked due to a blowout. It's been using the excuse a lot, though.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I watch Mythbusters.
I've never had a blowout.
Me neither.
Knock on wood.
Me
I've never had
neither.
one. Not even on a trailer. I've had a flat, but not a blowout.
And I've been a poor young man and have bald tires and hydroplaned a lot. Done that. And that never feels good. Oh, yeah, when you're young, you didn't worry about buying tires. You just run them until they do pop.
Yeah.
But I never had a blowout somehow.
I had a blowout, but it's a police story, so you'll probably don't want to hear it. So
Oh, that's when you had you were hauling the inmate?
no. No. No.
See, you guys are heading into that movie I'm talking about.
That's a very funny story, though.
But did it cause you to wreck?
It's a very funny story. Did it cause me to wreck? No.
No one in the history of ever has had a blowout and it
No,
has
but I
caused
was
a wreck.
going at a very high rate of speed.
Did you hit 88 miles per hour?
I hit well over 88 miles an hour.
You must have been in a...
There was a home invasion in progress call that we got. Okay,
Dang.
in Red Oak.
Okay.
and we're in Wilburton. So for those that don't know, I'll go ahead and tell the
That's
story.
a good straight shot.
It's a good straight shot.
could tell.
It's about I don't know, what is it, 15 mile, 20 mile?
Probably 17.
17
Yeah,
miles? Okay.
it is 17 miles, I believe.
17 miles. Okay, so
3/10.
get this call. Adam
Don't forget the
Woodruff.
tents.
Adam Woodruff is on the east side of town, and I think I don't remember where I was at, but anyways, I wasn't far behind him. So he's headed to Red Oak, home invasion. Okay, it's a woman calling, female calling, home invasion.
Finally, something real is happening.
Is that a real term, home invasion, or is that just like breaking and entering? What is that? Is that
Well,
a real?
I mean,
No,
There
they
was
call each
somebody-
other and they go, "Hey, a lady in Red Oak called and somebody's breaking into her house. Let's go."
Yeah.
yeah. I'll meet you down there.
Like a home invasion sounds like the
No.
cavalry's coming
The
on
call
your door
over,
or something.
the dispatcher gets on there and she's like, "I've got a whatever in progress." The female just
8430
called,
in progress.
and
It's
she said
8430.
that
On the
there is-
800 block of Red
there
Oak,
is someone
Oklahoma.
trying to actively get into her house right now, and she's home alone, pregnant.
Did she
or
say it?
something.
Just like that's kind of professional. That's a good dispatcher. He is actively trying to
No,
enter.
it turns out.
Don't worry,
the
she'll be
other-
dead by the time you get there.
Yeah.
But
Turns
please
out
hurry.
the other person was pregnant, the one that was doing it.
Just trying to get in the house?
It's a long story.
Hell yeah.
I get there and was like, I just put my life
Tell me
in
they were
danger,
fighting.
over, but you have to. You don't know when
Yeah.
you're getting the call. You don't know what you're going on. You don't know. It might be some guy that's trying to really kill a woman. That's what's going on in my head. It's Red Oak.
Yeah,
So
I'm
like,
impressed you even went like Red Oak. Like, then they can hash it out themselves down there.
It's
Yeah.
a long
yeah.
ways. You got to go.
Yeah, by the time you get down there, it's going to be over with anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
they'll figure it out.
Right. Well, anyways, so at the bottom of Ludi Hill,
right in the middle of an
which is
episode of
about
Cops.
a mile outside of Wilburton, maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles. I'm going down the hill, and that's when
You're going by the Miners Museum.
right.
Yes.
Well, I already went.
You
by.
already passed it. Now
Yeah.
you're by
And
Zinc,
that's when I
zinc
had-
Shop.
That's when I had the blowout.
Yeah. And no wreck.
No, I won't say how fast I was going, but no wreck, and I kept going because
Drove it on the rim?
well,
So you
it
say.
was a police tire,
Yeah.
and
They run flats?
And I mean, who gives a shit? It's the taxpayers'
no,
money, not
Yeah.
my money.
Is it like big timers they run flats? What do you
I wasn't
got?
thinking
like-
about taxpayers' money. All I was thinking about was there was a female getting her house broke into in Red Oak,
It was an invasion.
an invasion.
Yes.
And she could be getting killed for all I know, or raped or whatever. And Adam Woodruff is in front of me with his lights and sirens going. He's probably
I feel like he's plugging Adam on this already. It's like third
No,
time.
I'm not.
Adam Woodruff.
I'm really not.
100%.
But it
It's
was
all plugs.
maybe so.
At least you're using his whole name
Yeah.
every time.
Hey, dude, just
Anyways.
report the news. Don't try to just angle
the
it
news.
towards that.
Well, Adam was ahead of me, and
Adam who?
I had to Adam Woodruff for sheriff, Latimer County. But for real, Adam Woodruff for sheriff.
Yeah.
And he was ahead of me, and I've got to keep up. So honestly, the car, it may have been. The car kept going. It was fine. I could see that I heard it pop,
Yeah.
and the front of the car was
Dip.
leaning down, but it never. It didn't have any kind of
Never
handling
went-
issues at all. It still was going just fine. Now, of course, I slowed way down, and pretty much had to crawl to the scene.
They have some
you know.
tiger paws on it. It's like some tiger paws.
At the seat, they're what are they called? They're law enforcement tires. But I can't remember what they call them, but
Where do you get those at? I've never seen those for
What
sale.
do they call those things? I forget what they call them, but anyway,
Interceptors.
I changed the
sounds like a
flat
good name
tire.
for 'em.
I changed the flat tire in the driveway of the scene. Of the
After
scene.
you arrested the pregnant lady for trying to break in the house, was any arrest made? Were any charges filed?
No charges were filed.
Was anyone detained?
No, because
Because she's pregnant.
okay, I'll tell the story because I won't say any names. But yes, one female was living here. This female was supposedly, messing around with, and this female was pregnant, and supposedly this female was messing with
Messing with the
her
pregnant,
husband,
okay.
and she was just outside flipping out. Right? I don't remember if she.
Oh,
went
so
to
she
jail or
said
not,
somebody's
but I
trying to
don't
break in
think-
my house, so y'all would hurry up and get there and get
Right.
her out of there. Yeah.
Right. And
So-
so it wasn't the case. So what are you supposed to do, though?
Does this
if you
lady
really
not get in
think about
trouble
it?
for making you guys drive like that and all this shit for nothing? I mean, can you not say, lady, if you call again and say this shit and it turns out to be this, then you're going to jail?
I will tell you this: I was not happy I was not happy, but I was happy at the same time because
I would have been. That's like some action, actually. I'm like, oh, sweetness.
well,
Yeah.
I wasn't happy because there was
No action.
No, it was less than it was not that important, and I had a freaking blowout. at a
It's
high
less
rate
than
of
what
speed.
you said it was.
Yes. I wasn't happy because it was basically almost a false report.
Yes.
But I was happy because she wasn't getting stabbed or hacked to death or killed.
Don't
So-
act like that. You know you're disappointed.
Yeah.
You're like, there's not even any bloodshed here. I drove all the way to Red Oak and we got nothing.
No, I'll tell you what I was really unhappy about was having to change that freaking flat tire in her driveway.
Yeah.
Haven't you heard if you want cops at your house fast, you got to over-report it. If you need some like strong meds, the pain level is always a 9 or a 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked working in the ER, and some they would say, on
What's your favorite,
one to 10, and but now the one lady I heard said, what would you rate your pain 1 to 10? 10 being a bear eating you, and that would make them stop every time. They're like, probably I'm a strong 6,
Yeah.
where they'd always say 10. You know what I mean? They're like, I just need some drugs, but.
That is a big problem. I went into the dentist one time, and I had a filling fall out, and exposed nerve. Didn't hurt or nothing like that. And the dentist, they're like, well, how bad does it hurt? I was like, it really don't hurt. And I said, now if I chew on that side and I aggravate that nerve, yeah, it hurts like the Dickens, drop you to your knees. He's like, yeah, I'm probably
Dickens?
the Dickens.
Okay.
And he's like, I probably had to give you some.
That's what I call it, the Dickens.
Yeah, I can't even remember what kind of painkiller it was, but it's something like not good. You don't need to be taken. And I said, no, man, I don't need it. I said, it's fine. Like, it don't bother me. I just chew on this side until you get, it refilled or whatever we need to do. He's like, yeah, but just in case. And he just hawked me like some narcotics. And I'm like,
Some
okay.
Oxycontin.
See, I think my
Roxy's.
ADHD doctor hates me because I won't relent, and just do one of the bigs for ADHD. I'm like, well, dog, I'm not here hunting drugs, so I want something that'll help me, but I don't want something addictive, And he's just, you can tell lets the air out of him because he's just like, because he's fairly new out of school, I mean, he's like a couple of years out, and he's a psychiatrist or whatever, so he's making good money, and you can tell he just wants to go, just take the Adderall, sir, and get out of my office. I'm like, I'd really like to talk about it. I really want to talk about where these feelings come from. And there's some exercises I could do. Is there some drugs that are non-addictive, something that I can take that's going to, help this, where I can alleviate these symptoms? And you can tell he's just like,
They don't want to talk
No,
about it.
man, you're broke. you need this. Your system's broke. You need the pills, man.
yeah. He's like, I was playing Call of Duty on my computer when you came in, and you were holding me up. The whole squad's waiting on you to leave.
They're
So,
listening to everything
Do
you're
you
saying.
want the
right
fucking
now.
Adderall or not?
Yeah. I was talking, I think, on the phone to Ben the other day. I didn't get too in depth into it, but he was giving me a hard time because I'm going in for a surgery in a few weeks.
Let's talk about that.
If you're familiar with the term gelding or steer, that's going to be me. Manhood just gone.
You still have time to change your mind.
I do, but anyways,
But what?
it's probably for the best.
Sounds like a done deal to me.
Yeah.
Does sound like a done deal.
And we've always talked about, people we either grew up with, a little bit older than us, had their lives together, married, had kids, everything, good jobs, nice house. And then next thing you know, like, hey, they're strung out on meth or pills. You're like, what in the hell happened? So anyways, I go into, consult?
Consult.
Consult, yeah,
Okay.
a consult. And the doctor's like, okay, yeah, we're going to reach down here. We're going to work this vein up. We're going to cut it open. And we're going to solder it. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, that's about it. That's what we're going to do. And I was like, all right, am I going to be put under anything? He's like, no. He's like, I'm going to just give you a local, and that'll numb the pain. And I'm going to give you a couple of Valium. And about an hour before you come in the hospital, just take these Valium. You'll be good to go.
I like how they skip right over I'm going to give you a shot in the nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll give you a local.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
local,
We'll just
yeah.
brush
Right.
right over that. We'll give you a local. Don't worry. It'll
Yeah.
be painless. And you're like, a shot in the balls? I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
That's the main reason I won't do it. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm like, hell no, I don't want any more kids, but you're not giving me a shot in the nuts. No, thanks.
And if that don't work, you'll be laid out on the table, and your nuts will be on the table, and we'll just kind of hit them a few times if we got to. If that local doesn't kick in.
If the local doesn't get you.
Just pack them like a fucking can of snuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just beat them till
you're
they're
getting,
numb.
you're getting your nuts cut.
Just cut
You
off.
are getting them cut.
Yeah.
You are
The
going to do
big
it.
vasectomy.
Vasectomy.
I mean, I know it wasn't your idea, and I know it
It
wasn't.
is my idea. I mean,
Oh, come on. Give me a break. No, don't lie. No, this is what the I Don't Drink Coffee podcast is all about. We don't get on here and lie. We don't get on here and
okay,
switch
at
the
first
truth.
my
expose
wife
the
said, "Okay, what are we
tell
gonna
the
do
truth. Yeah,
now?
we
Like,
expose.
we're done having kids, so am I gonna go do the surgery, or are you gonna do the surgery?" And I said, "Well, what's the pros and cons of it?" I got to talking about it, and she's like, "Oh no, we need to read up on it." And then I seen what they do to women compared to like what they do to a man. I'm like, okay, you had 2 kids, you went through that. I guess I could have my nuts cut off.
Isn't it a little more? Isn't it a little more simple when they get it done right after the birth?
Yeah, but some reason they didn't even ask us on this one if we wanted to.
It's kind of
but hang
while
on.
you're in there, like
you didn't-
while your legs are open. Let's
So
just
you
go
didn't-
ahead. And,
No, we actually something happened.
You didn't think of this before?
No, we did. We talked about it.
All
Yeah,
right,
and they
all right.
wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't do it.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, okay.
The Choctaws wouldn't do it.
They're not going to do it.
Because she's
under-
probably because she's white. Like,
they're not gonna-
we've already gave her enough stuff. You need to get on out of here. Yeah.
No, that's
we ain't doing nothing to make this lady's life easier.
that's
No.
the real stuff I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
It's about as real as it's gotten on here.
So I mean, in all honesty, I'm sure it's something like that. But anyway, so I read up on it, and I was like, all right, yeah, it's kind of a little bit simpler for a man, per se. So,
Well, I saw a guy.
are you still hot, by the way?
Yeah, man.
I hope so.
Yeah.
He's a man.
Hey, let me
He's
tell you
a
something.
man. He's the man of his household.
Big man.
Let me tell you guys a story about a vasectomy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, whenever I was in,
But it would be very funny to me if his wife, Brandy,
Brandy.
one day
Yeah, huh?
said,
I'm pregnant.
that dude's been cut for 2 years.
Oh, he lied to us?
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hide it. I mean, if I had it done. Now,
No, I know.
the main thing I
But it
don't
would
want,
be very funny.
the main thing I don't want is, dude, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's the same reason that I hate red wasps, okay? A red wasp's not going to kill me. Vasectomy most likely won't kill me, but I don't
You don't want no local.
I don't want the local. You know what I mean?
Right?
Oh, I don't
No.
want a guy fondling my nuts. I'm out of high school taking physicals and stuff. I don't need like my
Oh, it's
nuts.
going to be a
fondled.
dude?
Yeah.
I'm good with them touching my balls. I don't care about that. I don't want.
I know you
a
like
shot
that,
in
Reggie.
My balls, man. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
I've had another dude touch my balls before, but, I was a kid.
So that was okay.
I just...
Ball touch is a ball touch.
Well, I was gonna leave it. I was gonna leave it
Yeah,
right
no.
there
Like-
for a little
like
bit.
it
let
could have been
people
like
go,
an ice cream
What's
man.
going on
Yeah.
here? Yeah, ice cream man. No,
It'd
everybody.
been better. Ben's like, like when you go to the ear doctor and he has to check your balls to make sure you're hearing
He's
fine.
checking your eyes.
This is the kind of truth we don't expose on I Don't Drink Coffee podcast.
No, I had surgery when I was a kid, so yeah, I've been there, done that.
Did you get a local on your balls?
Oh, I got a local in my balls. No problem
Yeah.
with that.
Well, I saw Brian Crockett fight, get in a fist fight on the very same day that he got a vasectomy.
Now, is this going to be the story you were going to tell
Yeah.
about? This is it?
Yes.
This is the one you were going to tell last time?
About the vasectomy?
I don't know. You were going to tell a story about Brian Crockett.
Hell, I don't remember. I know this, though.
You said you were going to tell a story about Brian Crockett, and you go, we'll wait for the next one. You were going to, it was kind of
remember
an
which one.
embarrassing story or a good story. I don't know
About
if it was
him?
embarrassing. Yes. You said, I've got a real good story about Brian Crockett.
Oh, I don't remember. I do know that since we're talking about vasectomies, that he went and got one. And you know how you're supposed to go lay on the couch for a couple
3
of days
days,
or
yeah.
whatever, and take it easy or whatever. He didn't do that.
He just fought.
Well, he showed up and
Well,
he's,
the doctor didn't tell him not to fight.
well, they did say take it easy.
Yeah.
So he's out hanging out with us and gets in a fight with this guy. And the whole, I was drunk, so I was standing over him going, Brian, you just
Your
got a
balls?
vasectomy. Stop fighting. You're not supposed to be fighting. He won the fight, by the way.
Good deal.
And, so
Your
I
balls
think,
are sore, Brian.
I think you'll be okay. You know what I mean? I don't know. I didn't ask him in great
No,
detail.
I'm gonna have that one in 1 million. Like we've never seen this happen before. We accidentally
it'll be like
bad deal.
we thought he came in for testicle removal.
Yeah.
we didn't know. We
gonna be
thought Isn't this the guy? The guy with the rotten nuts we had to cut off? No, they were viable balls.
If they do that, they better give me some of those Chinese meditation balls at the chimes.
Oh, yeah.
that'd be
Have
cool.
steel ones if you got, yeah.
Steel balls.
Be all right. Yeah, I'm gonna be that one thing that go, this has never happened during a vasectomy, but yeah, we're sorry, you're gonna be blind for the rest of your life.
Why did Brian fight this dude? What was so bad?
He knew him
That
from
you got
somewhere
sore
else.
balls.
No, he knew him from somewhere else.
You had freshly.
That dude
cut.
made fun of him, didn't he? About getting his balls cut off.
No, this was like a group fight. You know what I mean? There was like 3 different people fought in this at one time, kind of.
So it's gang affiliated.
Yeah, well, Keith Dill was fighting a guy, and then this guy was trying to get in that, and then Brian didn't like this guy already. I think. I wish. I'll have to ask him, and I'll give an update next time.
No, you won't. You'll forget.
Because Brian listens to the podcast.
But you don't remember the story you were going to tell about Brian.
I don't.
He's definitely had a vasectomy. His memory's slipping. I heard that's
think so.
That's a side effect.
I think so.
I'm 43. That's what's wrong with my damn memory. Believe me.
Go look at your balls. See if there's a.
Unfortunately, my balls
incision.
work a lot better than my
Incision.
memory does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, why don't you just show us the balls right now?
I don't
Prove
think
it.
You want to
Right
see
now.
it, man. You know,
Put it on the podcast.
Come on, man, get them out.
I don't know about that, dude. It looks more like a badminton. You know what I mean? Not really. Not something you want to look at.
So you're going to get cut. When? What day?
25th of Friday.
Do you
25th
want
or
me to go
26th?
with you and hold your hand?
I need someone to go. So if y'all want to go, we should do the podcast there. From the,
Dude,
We could do a live video.
I would love to do that while it's going on. If this doctor is legit,
yeah.
he would be
if
okay
he's,
is
If he's legit, yeah,
let's hope
let's do it.
let's hope he goes.
Is this a stab at the Choctaw Nation you're making?
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Is he good under pressure?
Maybe-
Does he listen to music while he does it?
He might listen to the podcast while he does it. This podcast.
Maybe he should do that.
But he should be on the podcast
I'll hit
while
him
he's
up.
doing
Do
it.
you know I don't drink coffee podcast? And if he says yes, I'm a fan. I go, well, you're in for a treat.
And
Yeah.
if he says no,
Yeah.
then you say
I need
Something's
a
wrong
second.
with you.
I need a second opinion.
you still say you're in for a treat.
You ain't cutting my nuts, sir.
Yeah,
Dude,
sir.
we could do just a play-by-play. Mm-hmm. You know, play-by-play.
Good.
Did he ask you to shave him?
Yeah, he said if you don't shave them, we'll shave them when you get here.
No, man, sir.
I was like,
I'm gonna shave him myself.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
I don't know, man. Like,
I don't want no dude.
I'll nick them up
shaving
pretty
my
good and just, you know.
I wonder if people actually show up with them not shaved, knowing
Well,
that
of course they do.
Some pervert does.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
You know how many?
For real?
Think about this, man.
Well, they got nurses like that'll help, so it ain't like him shaving
That's
your
why.
nut. Yeah, perverts.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they shave people all the time. People come in for surgeries, all kind of surgeries, and have to have
I
shit
don't want
shaved.
no woman
you're
doing it
43. Have you did the 40-year-old test?
What's
What?
that?
You had the prostate checked?
Oh no, I haven't done that. I probably should.
When are you going to do that?
I don't think you're supposed to do it until you're like 50.
No, it's 40.
We could do.
Don't say that.
We could do a podcast while I have that done.
Yeah.
That
You know
would
what I mean?
be awesome.
What are you gonna
But
do?
This is coming up first.
I'm sorry. I was going to go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have any plans to have it done, so
Well, I'm gonna
I would have to schedule.
The way I was going is like in the prostate deal, you know, you hear people, I don't know, I've know people who's had it done and talked about chubbing up. So I'm not under no worry of getting chubbed up when I get my nuts cut
Yeah, it's
off.
gonna be the opposite when you think about somebody doing damage
Yeah,
to it.
I'm gonna turtle up, you know, go in defense mode.
I don't know, man. You know, like I was telling you guys a story before the podcast come along. Cold air is not my friend. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
well-
It's gonna be cold in there.
Oh, yeah.
Cold table.
What is
Never
it?
had
Is that a
an effect.
bacteria thing? You worked in hospitals. Is it for bacteria why they're so cold?
Nobody ever talked to me about the temperature. I really don't know. I know this. I was always glad when I worked in the hospital because you're moving around a lot and it's very, you know, you get hot. It's like, I think like waitresses and everything else, they like it cooler because it's hot. They're moving around. You're sitting there waiting, you know, on someone.
Yeah, but can you imagine how bad a hospital would stink if it was, you know, not so cold? I mean, there's a lot of people that don't bathe.
Dude,
Oh.
let me tell you the smells associated with working in a hospital. There's
Don't ever do that again when I'm drinking. By the way, talking about the smells and
Well,
there's a
you asked.
there's a bouquet of aromas that are associated with the hospital that I can smell. Okay, I'll tell you this: if you want to know what a hospital smells like for real, go to the restroom in Casey's in let's see, over by my house. in McAllister, if you go in the bathroom, when you walk through the doors, the smell that's going to hit you there, and I don't know why it smells that way, and it always has since they built the place. I don't know if it's built over an old hospital graveyard or some shit. I don't know.
It's not like a stinky smell. It's just
yeah, it is. It's like it's a body smell. I don't know how to explain it other than that. You know what I mean? Like when you deal with people that are laying in bed a lot, then they have an aroma. You know what I mean? Even when you bathe them, they're not going to get clean. I say that. But they lay right back down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The parts of the body that are contacting go back to contact.
It's like a sausage.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not getting air under it like you do when you're out here being animated. They're laying there still. So
Well, let's change the subject because I don't like hospitals.
Yeah, I don't like smells either.
You're going to get cut,
But
and you're going to ask your doctor if we can do the
do it
podcast
live. Yeah.
live.
We ain't got to do it live. We can just do it after the fact. I mean, we can do it there, then just do the playback.
Okay.
But this is a 100% true story too. You don't hear guys joke around about the prostate deal. I was doing a regular physical like 2 years ago, and like Ben kind of alluded to, oh, you ain't got to do the prostate check now until you're like 50. Well, now they got a deal, like, you know, you check your blood, your PSA levels. So I was like, hell, I'm here. I was like, hey, if I get some blood work done, can you check my PSAs there? And the doctor's like, why, you think something's wrong? I was like, no, I'm just getting pretty close to 40 and, you know, make sure everything's good down there, especially since, what's his name? The Black Panther guy died.
Yeah.
This was before that, but now I'm, you know, thinking about it again, need to get checked because I don't want a finger up there. And he's like, yeah, you know, we do PSAs. He goes, like, when I do the PSA, I like to do, you know, a rectal
full
exam,
thing,
a rectal exam while I'm there. I'm like,
You said I'll pass?
and everybody says this, and this is not exaggerating. This doctor I go to, he is about 6'5" and just a monster of a man. And I'm like, you are not sticking none of those in me.
Well, you want to take that Super Bowl ring off?
That's a running joke, and I swear to you, the first time I ever brought it up with the doctor, this dude is the biggest man ever. Like, he's got a bear paw. I'm like, oh my God, can anybody else? Like,
Surely to God, though, he's going to do. I would hope he would use a camera. You know what I'm saying? Do they not have a?
No, this is just a regular poke to feel the prostate.
Oh, to see if it's enlarged or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh.
and from that point on, then they do the camera thing. But
I'm pretty good with the descriptions you can get online. You know what I'm saying? Like the size it's supposed to be, and I'll check myself. You know
feel
what I mean?
Yourself, yeah.
You know, in my alone time,
Right.
I'm giving it a good close run by anyway. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
you
So
got time.
ain't there? You know, like
You
on
make time.
ain't there? You know, like on dogs, I watched something where they the gooch of the dog, and they kind of massage it. And
What
they,
are we doing here?
what was that?
What are we doing?
You, what was that on? Anyway.
Just trying to see if we're going off the rails or if we're still on track. I just want to make sure. Are we still on track? Just want to make sure.
Do you remember we're recording this?
Yeah.
We have started the podcast.
Oh,
We are in the middle. We are in the middle of the podcast.
we can edit this though, right?
No, this is all going in. I'm almost honestly. I'm almost done with editing anything out. You know, unless we say something, just But any of the funny stuff or any of the when I fumble my words, which I do because I have a headache, and I have a headache right now, of course, and we don't want to talk about it. But because I'm tired of talking about it, but I get a little brain frog.
Well, there it is. It's a headache kicking in.
So
Where are we going?
I'm just leaving all of this in there, man.
Okay, great.
Go ahead and listen.
Yes,
Back to the
dog
gooch.
Yeah,
Dog gooch.
anyways, the dog and
Dog
the
and gooch.
the stuff that causes the cancer in dogs. There, they work on the gooch area and they get it all out. And I'm thinking, well, why can't a guy do that with his gooch? But I mean, you said you feel around. Is that what you're talking about? Do you hit the gooch or you just go for the gusto?
Man. Yeah, you got to. You know, I mean,
I think it would be a perfect or a prime opportunity for while the one doctor is cutting your nuts
To milk
to have the other doctor come in and
work the gooch.
get it over with.
Yeah.
Two birds with one stone.
Oh, you mean to go ahead and check the prostate? It's not bad thinking. While we're here,
Yeah, you're already on 2 Valiums.
I'm on Valium, and I got
Right.
some locals.
and you got some locals, and we're there.
And
We're there.
You're supporting me. You're doing great. Just breathe. Relax. You got to relax.
Been here with the I Don't Drink Coffee podcast. We're here to watch Trent get his balls cut.
Yeah. And penetrated.
So when the doctor goes snip, I'm gonna say, "How you feeling?"
But I mean, I just don't know. Like, you have to ask, like, I guess on the page who's had it checked. I was hoping Lucas has had it checked since he's a little bit older, so I know what to expect. Like, what is it? Did the doctor say? Does he tell you to relax before he does it? Breathe. I mean, seriously, is it like, or you just go? I don't know.
I think you bend over.
Yeah.
I think.
Is that better to bend over, or would it be like not as awkward if you did it on your? I think laying on your back would be more awkward. Maybe the sides less. I don't know. I'm trying to
You're
figure
just
it out.
thinking of which looks less like you're taking it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Doc, can you turn the lights out? I don't want to see
like
it.
a bar stool I can sit on that has a hole in the bottom of it. And I'll just sit here like this. And, you come from the bottom while I just kind of hang.
My luck.
That's a great idea.
And I'll just act surprised and we can go
Oh,
on.
whoa, okay. All right.
They ought to do it like with those old. That made me think. Maybe like those old photo
That would
booths
be
where
a great
you sit in there,
skit right
and
there.
as he does it, that's when
That
the
would
camera
be-
goes off, and
that
that's your
would-
reaction photo.
That would be a great skit. That would be a great skit.
Yeah.
Dude, like a bar, you're at a bar,
Uh-huh.
right? And
Yeah.
and everybody in there sitting at the bar, and they're all drinking.
They're getting their prostate
You're
checked.
in
They're getting
robes.
their
You're
prostate-
in robes. Everybody's in robes. So you
Hell
don't know when
yeah.
it's your turn. Yeah.
You can do it in groups of like 10 so that everybody feels like they're at the bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Did you
Not
watch the
robes,
game the other night?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Right,
can't.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did, dude. I saw it.
Yeah. And it's over. Then you walk
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
You may want to finish your drink. Or
Right.
just whatever.
I don't want to be in a robe though. You know what I mean? I had an MRI a while back, and they give you that little robe, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this?
Ain't nothing.
Why do I got to put it? I mean, first of all, why does it go on the wrong way?
Yeah. Why are they tying the back?
I don't know.
Why can't they leave your clothes on? Is there some reason why? I mean,
It's a medical deal, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure you got metal buttons or whatever on your
yeah, I get that with the MRI, but I'm just saying, like
boxers.
Yeah, I mean, why would you have to wear the robe? I guess that's just to negate any. That way, they don't have to make special cases for anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody puts on the robe, or whatever,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just don't
They go,
understand
Mr.
why
Klein,
the
you
robes-
can leave your boxers on, sir. You don't have to do this nude. No, I prefer to.
My luck though, if that day ever comes, when I gotta get checked for my prostate, I just know he's gonna say, "All right, bend over," and I'm just gonna be looking down the ground. I'm gonna go, "Okay, that's weird," and I'll look up, and for some reason there'll be a mirror, and I'll make eye contact with him right at that time. I'm like, "Oh man," I don't know. What do you do like after that day? I mean, a lot of these people listen to it have had it done, but. Like, do you just go home to your family and eat dinner and hold your kids like nothing ever happened? Like, I feel like the world should know when that happens to
Do
you.
you take a day or two?
You gotta
know?
take off, surely.
Well, I'm not.
Or you
just
take a
talking-
couple of Valium. I don't know.
I'm just talking about you check out of life for a couple days. You know,
Got to.
where you have to, go outside and just maybe like put your foot on a tree and bend over a little bit and just kind of reflect.
Hell no,
on-
you go out and cut down trees
Cut down
wearing
tree.
flannel and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
gotta
go-
go.
you
I
gotta
want to get back
reclaim
in
your
the swing real quick. I'd be
manhood.
like, okay, now when we get done, I need somebody outside I can fist fight.
Yeah.
You know, I got to get back in man mode. So, as soon as this is done, I need somebody to, we got to roll around, get this worked out.
Fisticuffs.
I got to get back to it. Yeah.
I mean, it sucks getting older, man. The stuff you got to go through, it's just not cool.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not having to go through anything.
You're gonna have to. I haven't either. I'm 38. You're
You're
38.
getting your balls cut, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I'm 38. I don't need to be having no more kids, anyways.
I'm kind
I
of.
want
definitely
5 or
not
6
interested.
more.
I'm definitely not interested in having any more kids at all. We are absolutely finished. And it's been brought up.
Nuh-uh, you're hot, dude. You're not
It's
finished.
been brought up many times.
Hot boy.
And it's even been suggested strongly that I make appointments and those kind of things like that, And it's like anything else that I just really don't want to do. I just say yeah, and then I just let it ride. You know what I mean? I don't really make the appointment. I don't say no. I'm like, yeah, I see your point. I see your point, but I got to go to work. I'll talk to you later, and then I just go on.
6 years later.
Why are women so much more like they go get annual checkups, they go get mammograms, like they do all that. I'm like, man, like I just wish I had that fortitude to do that. I'm like,
They're
I don't
tougher.
care. Yeah.
Straight up, they're
Tougher.
mentally tougher
Oh, yeah, for
than
sure.
men are. For real. I mean, I've said this before. It's a lot harder to be a woman. Now, I'm not being feminist necessarily, but I'm saying, think about how many things there are that are uncomfortable or that are hard to go through for a woman.
Oh, way more than a man.
And then for a
way
man,
more.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You don't have to carry kids. You don't have a menstrual cycle. You don't have any of those things. You know what I mean? You just show up, you do your thing, and then you scratch yourself, and you go on, do whatever else you want to.
I feel like you do have a menstrual cycle because you have different moods.
I'm a very moody person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like you do.
Dude, you already have ADHD. You know what I'm saying? And I was brought up around angry people. Everybody that I knew was mad. They still are. Everybody is mad. You know what I mean?
They still are.
I'm the happiest person ever. It makes my wife sick. She just like, no one should be that happy every day. I'm just happy. Everything's great. I love life. I love everybody.
I try to be.
Well,
it's
she
just
should have known beforehand because I knew her for a long time, and I'm the same way.
Yeah, we're just two peas in a pod.
I wish I was happier.
They don't like it though.
No.
They don't like it.
Well, but here's what you
And when I
understand.
say they, I mean women that we know.
Yes.
Most of my anger though is not.
I don't mean all women. I mean just
It's the ones we know.
just the ones we know.
Well, mine's not a way of life. I mean, I go through a thing where, like, I might throw some sort of a fit, but
tissy?
but it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you
I
how many
know. Right.
how
I
many
get it.
arguments I've been in. And then like I could have a serious or real argument where we're like, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then 10 minutes later, I can walk outside and go, hey man, you want to go get something to drink? Because I really am that far out of it. You know what I mean?
That's the deal, like with men though, and like I said, women have so much, like I said, harder lives than us, and they do this stuff willingly. Like me, I'm like, well, I ain't got to go get my prostate checked unless I make that appointment. So why don't I even put myself to it? And women are like, this is what you need to do every year. You got to do this and that. And like you said, you can get mad and get over something in 10 minutes, talk to the guy you were mad at, forget about it. Women never forget anything they're mad about. They might, like, everybody says a woman's mad forever, and which they are, but they can kind of get by it with some other women.
I don't say that.
With some other women, but sometimes though, they can fake it, but they'll
He's
never.
talking about women he knows.
They never forget when they were wronged by another woman or somebody.
Well, you got to think about it like this. I mean, it's a constant cycle of you pissing your woman off, and then it's that ebb and flow you were talking about earlier. Or I know in my own relationship, it's always I'm in the process of pissing her off about something.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have a way of, because I don't think far enough ahead, like spending too much time working on my car. That's a good example of, I get excited about it. It's something that's fun. So I'll go over there and I'll be working on it, and I'll think, I'm actually not even thinking about the passage of time. And my dad will be like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, what? He's like, it's 11 o'clock p.m. I'm like, really? And then I go look at my phone. I've got like 4 text messages. When are you coming home? Are you coming home? Hey, I need you to bring me something. Are you coming home? I guess you're not coming home. Are you alive? That kind of thing. And so and I'm always in the process of that. Now I've gotten better at heading it off a little bit and going, I'm being a dick, or whatever, and kind of, especially about the car thing. And in the beginning, I was obsessed, but anything that I do is that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if I have to work on if I have to work on the house, I'm pissed off about it immediately. You know what I mean? She's like, "Are you going to finish the trim of the house?" I'm like, "I just started putting the trim in the house 3 years ago. What do you want from me? Don't you realize how busy I am? So,
I've got this car.
Oh
Yeah.
man, definitely. A big thing getting adjusted for men and women is a man's hobbies. Women really don't understand it, like raising a family and this and that. That's their hobby. They got a few other little hobbies, but like, why do you do so much stuff? And you're like, I don't know. It's what I wake up every morning and go to work, not just for my family, but also for that stuff I can do later on. You got to have something to look forward to in your downtime.
well, it's like decision making. It seems like my full-time job as the guy, the husband, the dad, or whatever, a lot of decisions, and from big decisions to little decisions, it's always this. Okay, what do you want to eat for supper? And I'm like, I don't know. What you said you were hungry. What do you want? I don't know. What do you want? How about? And I always now. In the beginning, I didn't do this when we were still new and trying to get along. But now I always start out with the one she hates the most. Like my wife hates Pizza Hut.
So she'll come up with
She'll
one.
never eat at Pizza Hut, but I always say it first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's
Then you
like,
force
I don't
her
care.
hand.
Yeah, I'm like, let's do
You just
Pizza
told
Hut.
off on yourself. I hope she don't.
She
listen
knows
to
I
this.
tell her this all the
Okay.
time. I'm like, I just start out with that because I know you hate it.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll force her into making a decision. It never works, but I still try. Just because it's fun to irritate her.
Yeah.
I'm like how Bill Engvall talked about, you won't poop in front of your girlfriend or anything like that. And then 15 years into the relationship, you're just trying to gross them out. You know what I mean? You get over that hump, and it's like, hell with it, you know? But that's kind of, hobbies are, when my kids were real little, I don't know though, man, them living with their mom when they were real little, it kind of, it changed the dynamic for me a little bit. But, now once they, start staying at my house, all the time and stuff, then, it got to be a lot more of, well, I see him every day, so I'll go do this, and you know how it is with any of your parents, as a kid, I try to keep this in mind too. Every kid is like, I can't wait till I'm not around these people. You know what I mean? They're not going, man, once they get past a certain age, you know what I mean? Especially after 12 years old, let's say 10 years old, kids are always like, oh my God, dude, I hate this person. All they do is say no. So I try to keep that in mind, like my boys are getting older. So I'm always like, Gavin's 18. So I'm like, hey man, let's go hang out and talk or whatever. And he's like, all right, cool. I know he doesn't really want to, so it's a selfish thing for me. I'm like, let's go to Tulsa or something like that. And he's like, yeah, all right. I was going to go hang out with some girls, but yeah, we can do that. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Go, sorry.
It's the Cats in the Cradle song.
Yeah. Well, and I remember enough about being that age to go, don't be that parent. You know what I mean? I mean, there are certain things you got to hold your ground on, but those kind of things, that's just selfish. You know what I mean? You can be too selfish on your kid's part and wanting them to, hang out with you or whatever. And they're like, no, I'm good without you.
Oh yeah, my hobbies right now are definitely on the back burner. We got gymnastics, softball, football going on.
They'll forever be on the back burner.
Forever.
For a long time.
I got 3 buddies. Well,
especially if you have kids that are in sports year round.
I got 5 buddies right now. 3 of them is in Wyoming elk hunting, and got invited to that. Had a buddy going to Oklahoma City today to go dove hunting and hog hunting. Got invited to that. Had another buddy heading out to West Texas to do some dove hunting, and I'm just like, yeah, I
don't want buddies like that.
There's no time to do
that's
nothing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Don't invite me to go dove hunting.
Yeah, I know.
Are you serious?
But I'm just saying that I get those.
I delete those people out of my phone.
I know. I never tell it to my wife. I never even say
man.
I never say these people invited me to anything, and I did tell her today. I said, yeah, I had a buddy invite me to go out west to go on a bear and elk hunt. He had an extra tag and said, hey, if you want it, you can have it. I was like, yeah, it's like September 24th, short notice, just told her that in passing. There's a lot of things I get invited to that I never even mention, and so like when you do
like dove hunting, I wouldn't mention that either.
When you do step out and you go do something, they're like, you're always doing something, but in your mind you're like, yeah, but I say a lot of no's out there that you never hear about, Stuff I would love to do, but I just know, like, it's not going to happen. We got too much going on.
I mean, you wouldn't love to go dove hunting, though, right?
I eat them. They're pretty good.
Is this because you don't want to kill animals?
He loves Prince, dude. He loves animals, too.
I mean, really? Dove hunting?
It's pretty challenging.
It's challenging?
You ever try to shoot a dove flying through the air?
I had 2 dove on my back porch like 2 days ago I was watching.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is not masculine talk from you. I'm just saying.
It's not masculine to go dove hunting, okay? That's for the girls, man. That's for the girls.
I'm sorry.
I think you're going to be like in the 0.0001 percentile of agreement on that. Nobody's going to agree with that. Even women know better than that.
Ben hates it. And he goes fishing, though, and he goes, well, I don't eat the fish. I go, great, you just torture them. I'll just catch you on this hook and reel you to the bank, and, oh, look, I caught this fish, and throw you back in. It's horrible.
It's horrible?
Yeah.
What's horrible is when I went bow fishing with you.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
They die.
You suckered me into that one. Mm-hmm. You're like, hey man, we're gonna go test the boat out.
We were.
I need to go run the boat. I was like, all right, yeah, cool. I'll go run a boat any day of the week, man. You want to go run a boat? Let's go do it. Let's go see how it runs. And he
goes, oh snap! There's a fish.
Oh, there's a boat.
Hang on.
There's a boat.
Dude, there's like
this boat.
There's some.
Here's
an arrow.
I've still got footage of all of this.
There's
he absolutely does.
No.
I won't say why.
Yeah.
I won't say why.
We won't talk about
And
it.
he absolutely don't want me to release the footy, and I will do it. Okay, if I ever find out you go dove hunting, okay, if you go bear hunting or elk hunting, okay, but if you go dove hunting, it's released.
Oh boy. There were some fish in the boat, and Ben's like, "Are they dead?" I'm like, "Yes." Like I was talking to my kid. Yes, son, they're
Dude,
dead.
They went to fishy heaven.
The whole boat was covered in blood. I was like, "What the heck is going on here?"
It's a nasty. Like we were talking.
He was like, "Here's a hammer, Ben. You're gonna want to turn your head."
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right." So I turned my head and wham! It's like, "Jeez, dude,
We're talking.
this
about,
is brutal."
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I mean, all my hobbies are just pretty much disgusting. I guess. I mean, we were talking about the other night
I
hog
don't know
hunting.
where the bow hunting come out of, because in high school you didn't really do that stuff.
I
You
both
went a couple times.
Yeah, I took you at one time. Me, you, and Chris.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
ridiculous.
Well, in high school, we was worried about other things.
What
but-
were, I don't know. What were we worried about?
I don't know.
Where are we going with this?
Let's talk about your bow fishing real quick.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
talk
You
about
hate
We
it.
really do need to,
Yeah.
man, because you do really like
You have teammates.
very well. You're very successful at it. So, and we always skip over that. You
He
know what I
has
mean?
Because
teammates.
Ben hates it. And,
No,
you know, it's awkward.
listen. Yes, it is ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, I think we should give time. I mean, no matter what you're into, we talk about iRacing for Christ's sake, and there's not a thing on the planet that's more ridiculous.
I've never talked about iRacing on here.
Yes, we have. I've made fun of you about it, but anyway.
I've never talked about it.
Well, that's a valid thing to talk about, and that is not even a physical activity.
Why do we got to put me down and to lift Trent up?
Well, no,
We don't have
it's
to do
not that. It's like you're looking at it. You're
We don't
saying like you're diminishing. Why would you say that?
I'm diminishing
where-
his sport.
Men as a being
They get on
came from.
Right, they get on a boat and they shine a light in the fish's eyes, and they shine. The eyes shine, and they shoot it. How hard is that? It's not hard.
But we know,
not
but you know,
hard at
everything in
all.
life has to do with death. Everything has to do with death. And if
So
it
that-
doesn't, it's
that-
not. You're not succeeding. You know what I'm saying? So
I like,
it's-
yeah.
I almost die a couple times when I'm doing iRacing.
Well, see, we're doing it again. We're skipping
wreck
over
it.
it.
I wreck
What's
it
the
200
latest
miles an
thing?
hour.
Oh, I like Ben's like misnomers about bow fishing. Like he's always says, I thought he was joking on Facebook. He 100% thinks that you shine a light in fish's eyes and it blinds them. That's
never
not the
said-
case at all. You just said it a while
I
ago.
never said it blinds them. I said their eyes shine.
Oh, well, you see the
They don't
whole,
reflect?
You see the whole fish.
Yeah, you do, but you definitely see their eyes first, right?
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
So you don't use light when you're in the water.
Yes,
Okay.
but it shines up the whole fish. Like you
and
see the
and
whole
their
fish.
eyes don't glow or reflect at all. None.
No.
None.
I didn't. If that's a part of the fishing, I didn't know about it. But I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I
Not
don't
at
know.
all.
No.
You just see
it
the-
might glimmer, but I don't look for it.
Ooh.
Well, the scales are everything's glimmering.
So is that what a guy? But a guy don't want to admit that, right? I mean, that's like going
It ain't-
hunting.
it ain't like
You
frog-
don't want
it
to
ain't
say
like- it ain't like
I
frog-
shot this gigantic deer in a field because I was spotlighting it. They don't ever say that.
What's the difference?
They said
Spotlighting
they're out
is
hunting
illegal.
it. They said they were hunting it.
That's because it's illegal.
Yeah.
It's not that people don't do that.
It's very true.
What's funny, we live in a state where you can bait deer too. So, like, how tough is deer hunting over
Not
corn?
at all. None.
Okay.
It's not hard. Dude, I think it's very ridiculous when people post pictures of themselves with these monster bucks. I'm like, really? I need to see all the backstory.
Well, I'm not going to say it's ridiculous because I bow hunt and,
It's
and I
ridiculous.
deer hunt.
It's ridiculous because you take the little deer feeders out there and your little game cameras.
He hates hunting and fishing. He hates it.
No, I'm not against it. I'm really not against hunting and stuff. But it is kind of ridiculous to me when
But
people
anyways,
go,
they're not like it's not like frog
and they
gigging.
smile while they're showing their big monster buck that they, pretty much baited,
Yeah.
pretty much made a pet, I'm like, come on, dude. But go ahead.
But it's not like frog gigging. You're not like looking for eyes like you're talking about. Frog gigging, yes, you go out there, shine a light, you see their eyes,
Yeah.
you gig them. No, it's different.
If you go bow fishing with no lights on, I'm all about it.
With no lights?
There's a
Yeah.
lot of people that do.
They fish with no lights?
Well, they turn them on
Yeah.
eventually.
Here comes
But
a
no,
well.
Anyways, I don't want to.
Well, I don't know. How the hell would you see
There's going to
them?
be no bow fishermen that listen to this, so I'll say it. Yes, there's a different method to shooting a certain type of fish that we use here, but it's more dominantly used up north. But you actually go out there and you listen for them sucking the water. and you kind of slowly work your way over to them. And then last minute, like when you get pretty close, you think you're in shooting distance, you either step on a pedal to turn on some lights, or you hit them with a spotlight.
Oh, so it adds more sport to it or whatever. Is
No,
what
they're light sensitive fish. They see a light and they scatter. So if you're running lights all the time, you never see them.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So Benny was onto something, wasn't he?
No,
Yeah, sounds like it.
no, because I never hunt like that. I know a guy from Missouri. He's pretty successful. He does that. I've done it a little bit. I can't do it. I'm just
Why?
because I want to go. I want to get on the bank, or I want to get out on the flat, and I just want to go. I want to drive. I want to have my lights going. I just want to shoot. I don't want to sit there in the dark and go listen for that. I ain't got time for it,
You
Benny.
never did it
I've done it.
just to try it out.
Yeah.
just to test it.
And it's pretty successful. A lot of people think it works just up north, but we got fish down here that actually it works on too. So, but that's a trade secret. If I'm looking for a big fish, I'll do it every once in a while.
Well, I'm gonna cut this out and post it.
Okay, just this part right here, put it on my
Yes.
page, put it everywhere.
It's gonna be a snippet. Yes, I got to start doing that. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna start doing it.
The
You
fish
don't want me to
sucking's
snippet
gonna
this
be-
out?
Yeah.
It's going to be a snippet.
I think it should be.
But anyways, the bow fishing. Yeah, I started
I
a long time ago as a kid. Dad would take me Kenosha River and stuff out, a little flat bottom John. Like I said, got a little bit older, high school and stuff. You know, me and Ben went a few times. Seen a lot of snakes that one night. It was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben couldn't
Couldn't see. It
Couldn't
was
see.
dark in the woods.
Dude.
We were in
the boat ramp.
woods.
The boat ramp is like kind
Dude, I
of down.
couldn't see
It's kind of down an
anything.
embankment, but he's only like 30 yards from us. And
No.
Ben's at the truck, right? My truck, and he's like,
In the
"Where-
woods, though.
Where you guys at?" I'm like, we're down here with the lights. He goes, "I see you, but
I could see him, but you had to walk down the woods into like a creek and back around
dude, I had to
to
go
where they were at.
He was scared. I had to go up and get him.
I was not scared.
He goes, "I can't see you." And we're down there like
Just 'cause I
bright,
said I
shining.
couldn't- just because I said I
You
couldn't
look at
see.
that camera whenever you make that face. That's funny.
That
I was
dude,
absolutely
that
not
dude's
scared.
like, "I can't see y'all." Me and Chris is like, "Dude, we're shining in these bright lights in the pitch darkness." "Well, I can see you, but I can't see how to get to you." I'm like, "You just dropped us off and drove straight up this road."
Did I drive up the road? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
you parked the truck.
I don't remember that part. I just remember being in the woods and couldn't see you, and I was like, I don't know how to get there. I don't know how to get where they're at.
He just,
I had no
He
clue.
just dropped us off.
Why
Dude,
couldn't
I-
you just cut through into the lights? if
You
could see
could
the
not
lights?
do it. You
Is it
couldn't
too
do it.
thick
There was
or
a
something?
creek or something in between. I don't remember what it
We
was.
was in the creek. Okay, like I'm gonna demonstration.
I'm
here's,
ready, I'm
here's
ready.
us. Here's the truck. Ben backs us into the water.
I
We-
was a lot farther than 30 yards from them, though.
We unload the boat into the water. This is the water. So us here in the boat. Ben, dude, I'm gonna go park the truck. Here's Ben.
I got
Where
out.
you guys at?
It was-
I can't find you.
It was literally pitch dark.
You know how a boat ramp works in a parking
Yeah,
lot, don't you?
yeah.
Same principle.
Oh, okay.
Same principle. We weren't in a freaking parking lot. We were in the middle of the woods, and I couldn't see anything.
I was like, I never knew Ben was scared of the dark. I found out tonight.
I wasn't scared of the dark. I couldn't see. I was like, dude, just walk over here with the light.
I had to save him again. Always saving Benny. But
I've saved you several times.
yeah, it's true too.
You want me to start talking about those times? I can. I can do it. I can do it.
But
But I don't want. Listen, I don't want your bow fishing friends to turn the podcast off, thinking, "Well, this guy don't." Da, 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 da. But I don't.
no, you
I
think
don't.
it's stupid?
I do think it's dumb.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I'm not about just going out and shooting a bunch of fish for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If y'all were doing it and eating them, that's different.
Some of them get ate. Most of them go. All of them go to the hog farm.
Well, a lot of them are invasive species, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they're,
Of course they are. Of course they are. Everything is invasive species. Invasive species.
Well,
Everything is.
I mean, you gotta
Por-
thin them out.
I mean, if somebody wants to hunt something,
How do you think hogs got the way they are?
You know how I said, yeah.
You know
You
what
know
I mean?
how I said I like having well-rounded like people, in my group. Ben's one of them. I like. He's my liberal side.
He
I
keeps
like
the
it.
feminine
Yeah.
perspective
Yeah,
alive.
feminine, yeah.
earlier when I said I don't like to argue and I don't want to be combative, I
Yeah.
want to talk politics, and here I am,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
combative and arguing.
I
We're
knew
not
better.
talking politics though, but
I knew better. That's
I'll
why
tell you
I
right now,
said
though,
it.
I would love
No,
to. I would love to put a bow and arrow in your hand and go out.
In a
and shoot a
social-
fish. I'd love to see you do it.
And
Oh
see
no,
me
we're
kill
talking
a
about Benny.
fish.
We're talking about Benny.
Yeah,
Go
and
ahead.
just love to see you go shoot some fish. See how easy it is.
Ah,
Then go shoot
sure you
500,
would.
800 of them a night.
500 to 800
Yeah.
fish, and they all go to hog farms.
Yes.
That's a lot of bow pulling.
How do
is
you
what
do
that
that?
is.
You think
you
I'm-
got a big net behind your boat?
No.
Like shrimp?
We shoot
shrimp
them.
boats?
We shoot them.
And you put them in the net and you drag them to the
I'll
hog
tell
farm.
you exactly how it works. We shoot the fish. The barrels are right behind us.
Barrels.
We fill those barrels. We take them to the back of the boat because you don't want to overload the front. When we get loaded up, we drop them on the side of the bank, and then we go back to fishing. And then in the night, we got to collect all these barrels.
Okay, so this is for like a tournament.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a regular night.
I don't
of
go
shooting
fun
a lot of
fish no more.
Oh, you don't?
No, I'm married. I got 4 kids, man. I can't have time to fun fish.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I tell people is like
That's what they call that, fun fishing?
fun fishing.
Okay.
But it's hard, man. Like
All right, well, okay, hang on a 2nd Let's, like you said,
I'm
you were,
out scouting or I'm shooting a tournament. That's
you were
what I do.
explaining, you're explaining bow fishing. Let's assume that, some people out there that are listening don't know anything about bow fishing, and they may want to get involved or get, because I have a friend in Georgia that's a police
After
officer.
being talked about how stupid it was, they might be wanting to get involved.
His name is Adam.
This is a
You
setup,
talked
in
to
case
him.
you were wondering.
Yeah.
You've talked to him. He
Yeah.
wants to get into bow fishing.
Well, I got a guy, my good buddy, who I just shot hogs with last weekend from Georgia.
Okay.
Big time bow fisherman.
All right, so go ahead. Let's talk about bow fishing real quick.
Well, bow fishing for a tournament is you got different formats. The most common are Big 5, Big 10, Big 20 in numbers. Of course, I prefer to shoot numbers, but I guess we really, made a name for ourselves when we won the U.S. Open 3 years ago, 2017.
Well,
that's the biggest
listen, we
tournament.
don't do any self-promotion on here, so we
Oh.
don't want to talk about that. No, I'm kidding. so,
That's all we do is self promotion.
so a few years ago, you won
The biggest tournament in
the
the world.
biggest tournament in the world.
We had no parade.
You
In Wilburton.
That's unfortunate.
There was no parade in Wilburton, Oklahoma.
And that's why
for you.
Wilburton is lagging right now behind on the
Is
time.
it?
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean,
think you're right.
That was their
It
chance.
really-
That was their chance to be
It really
a 21st century
is
school.
unfortunate. They did have a prime opportunity to kind of
throw their name out there.
showcase you and
Hey.
still promoting themselves. At
Exactly.
The same
They're not
time.
just showcasing me. They're showcasing themselves.
Right. And I was the biggest.
The ringleader.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
So I know I'm sitting here talking smack about bow fishing, but dude, I was really like, Trent won the biggest bow fishing tournament
In the world.
in the world. Now, what was it called?
The Bass Pro U.S. Open,
And it was held at.
Springfield, Missouri.
And do they hold them in Springfield every year?
No, the year after that was in Oklahoma, out of Tulsa, and the year after that was out of Shreveport, Louisiana.
And I want to know. So it was you're the world champion.
Yeah,
So I want to know why there's not like a billboard or a
statue.
Statue.
Give me a statue, me shooting a bow. That'd be
Something.
tough, son.
Something.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean,
I'm not kidding.
the minute you knew now,
Something.
Now you had to know. Is it a? I'm a layman, obviously. So it's a weigh-in thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So
This format, I'll tell you, there's like, I don't think like 275 boats, something like that. And you all launch out of the Bass Pro in Springfield. This is the year we won it. And I'll just give you the whole story. We went up there, me and my teammates, J.J. Hayes, Andrew McGee, and Casey Jones. Me and Andy, of course, were from Wilburton. Casey and J.J., both from Texas J.J. was in Texas at the time. He still is. Casey was out of Tulsa, and now Casey lives in Kansas. Anyways, had a game plan. I'm like, all right, guys, let's check these spots. Went out that first night. Casey and JJ's like, they're there. They're thick. They're big. I think we're good. Okay, good, because me and Andy, we're not real comfortable with what we found. They're there, but they're kind of sporadic. So the next night, we usually scout about 4 or 5 nights. This one, we had a pretty good game plan already. We was going, so we were 3-daying it. That morning, after the first night of scouting, we scouted till daylight. Me and Andy stopped at a gas station and made the mistake, got like a breakfast burrito from the gas station. Got back to the hotel after we ate the breakfast, went to bed, woke up about 1 o'clock. Oneida Bose was having like a party that day. So we went to the factory there, the warehouse, cook out and socialize. had a couple of beers, but I wasn't feeling real good. I was like, man, I just don't feel real good. Maybe I'm just tired from scouting, you know. We scouted real hard the night before. We was about to go out scouting again. It's like, I don't feel real good. Hung out there all day. Got back to the hotel, and we're getting ready to go out scout. It's getting dark again, you know, tournaments the next night. And I was like, man, I don't feel good. I need to lay down for a second. Anyways, got deathly sick, puking everywhere. Got food poisoning from the gas station burrito. I'm talking, it's bad. Like Andrew's
The night before the tournament starts, yeah.
So Andrew's like about to take me to the hospital because like I'm dehydrated, just been puking for like 2 or 3 hours. My other teammates go get me like some Pedialyte and some emergency and stuff like that. Like, we're gonna go scout, you know, if you can make it, you know, go. And there's no making it. But anyways, they drive all the way to a new place to scout, and generators won't start in their boat. We had 2 different boats, so they couldn't scout. And you're like, well, we're going to have to go to this spot here. Like, we think it's, you know, our best chance. Like, oh yeah, that's definitely where we got to go. And we knew they were coming out at a certain time at night, and we get there. What's about 45 minutes after we expected these fish to move in, and I'm like, oh my God, they're not going to come in. There's a really bad storm the night before.
Were you getting over your sickness by this time?
No, I'm dead. I'm on my deathbed.
You're out there though.
I'm out there.
To do it.
What do you mean come in?
Fish move at certain different times. Moon, weather, this and that. It all affects them. We had them pegged though. This is when they're getting in. This is when they're going to be leaving. We need to be here at this time. Yada yada. It's a lot of science and
I bet it
stuff
is.
A lot of ins, a lot of outs, what have you.
What have you?
Sure.
A lot of strands.
Yeah.
So it's about 45 minutes past the witching hour, and I'm like, oh crap, this storm might have screwed these fish.
Are you feeling better at this point?
No, I'm dead. I'm done.
Okay.
Dude, I'm dead. The whole damn tournament, I'm dead.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I'm dead. Like dog tired. Like
This is like the Michael Jordan flu game.
that's
Well,
what
you're
that's what we
tired or
call
you're
we call
sick?
it. We call it my Michael Jordan flu game, but we call it I had polio. Dude, I've been dehydrated and puking for like 12 hours.
I know, but you think you're still sick from that, or is it just from the dehydration? At
I
this
don't
point?
know. I'm just dead. I had no
Okay.
energy, nothing, no strength. And anyways, we're going along, and I was thinking, like, kind of nervous. And then about a 23-pound guard just rolled up beside me, and I smoked it. And I was like, all right, boys, game on. And we just started stacking them like firewood. And we'd shoot some, we'd pull over. All right, we got to weigh these. Okay, this is about what weight we think we're at. We got to cull these. You know about culling means, you know, bigger fish. And we got done, and we're like, we got like 350, 365 pounds. It's going to be tough with these storms. We don't think no one's got nothing. So we get back, and we're to Bass Pro in Springfield, and we're driving, and I'm seeing like these big buffalo fish like on these decks of these boats. I'm like, crap. Everybody's
People
fish,
are having a good night.
everybody's fish stuck around. Like the storm didn't help us none. And
So hang on. You can go to any lake you want
these
to.
were 4 lakes.
4 lakes. You had to go to one of the 4 lakes.
One of the 4
Okay.
lakes. And we go back there, and JP, whose father owns Bass Pro, he's like, man, how you guys do? We're like, man, I think we're pretty good. I think we got like 350, 365. He's like, dude, if you got that, like, you're probably going to do really good, if not win it. We're like, dude, we seen some big buffs out there. He's like, yeah, people's got like 2 or 3, and that's it. Like, storms killed everybody. They shot those fish mostly during the daytime when the tournament started. So we go back there, and they take the top 20 weights they think what they are, and they stick them in the back area. And everybody else is going. There's a big stage, a big, huge TV. I mean, it's like a big, nice setup. They got a DJ on the intercom or MC, whatever you call it. And this boat comes through. They'll say their weight. I'm like, all right, now here we go. You know, we think our top 20 boats, and we're sitting back there like, what do you think? Like, man, I don't know. Like, it looks good, but some of these other fish look big. We don't know. Some of the guys like, man, you guys got it. You know, this and that. So I'll never forget. Cause I didn't get to watch it live because I'm going through the weigh-in stage. A representative for Muzzy, he's filming it live. He goes, here's some Oklahoma boys. They got 20 big gar. I just don't think Gar's going to win it because Gar's never won this tournament. No one's never won it with Gar. And usually buffalo or grass carp. So good buddy of mine now named Chase, he's from Missouri. And they had pulled in late, so we didn't see what they had. And he goes, what do you got? And we're like, what do you got? Because we're trying to see who's going to go last. No one wanted to be that guy who went last and didn't win and had to back up and let the first place guy in, you know. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't know, man. I got a pretty good weight. And we're like, well, you ain't got us. I didn't say it, but JJ did. He goes, you ain't got us beat. And I was like, oh, okay. And Chase goes, all right, I'll go first. So he went. I think he was like 331. And then when we pulled up, and Casey, I guess he's really good at math. They weighed our first 10 fish because it'd be your big 20. Anyways, they weighed our first 10. It was like 200. And Casey started pumping his fist. And I was like, okay, I know it's pretty good. We're going to need 130, 140 after this. And that next 10, they weighed it. And they said the number real fast. I didn't really hear it, but Casey's just like freaking out. Like I was like, "Did we win? You know, we won the race." And they said, "Yeah, we won it." So we got to go through there and get on the big stage, get the big check. Of course, my wife was pregnant with Brecken at the time, so it was pretty cool. He wasn't born yet, but she was on stage with me pregnant, so
he was there.
Yeah, so we won it, and that was pretty rad, and and just kept on going from there.
Now, is there a different kind of fish you can? I mean, what kind of fish can you actually bring to the table?
Gar, buffalo, common carp, grass carp, big head carp, silver carp. That's
Invasive species. So okay.
Now buffaloes and gar's not.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, but we don't want to say it on the podcast. We'll edit that part. No.
So is there sponsorships as a result? I mean, do you get a lot of attention in that side of it? Or?
Man, you can go out there and really promote yourself. There's just a few companies that I shoot their products. Like I would never shoot a product if someone was given to me if I didn't believe in it. I know what works for me. I know what I'm comfortable with. So shoot Onata Eagle bows, shoot Muzzy reels, TNT tips. That's just me. And I shoot for some of them, but not all of them. But that's just what works for me.
So they don't do any like whenever you guys were new champions or whatever, that nobody came to you and was like, "Hey, we're trying out a new product since you guys are the best."
Oh yeah, you get some of that. It's like bow fishing though. It's more kind of there's some big companies in it for sure, but it's a lot of smaller companies trying to make a name for themselves. Hey, we shoot this, and I'm always very graceful or grateful, I should say, when someone wants me to try something out for them. I'll try it, and if it don't work out for me, it won't. If I love it, I'll shoot it. And that's just kind of my deal. Nothing's worse than going out there and shooting some stuff you don't like.
So you did have some people come up to you and say, "Hey, try this out." And
yeah,
so
not like we want to sponsor you. Just try this out. Tell me what you think.
So you
Give me
got
some
no
feedback.
sponsorship really from it?
We got Onata. That's the big one. That's the number one bow there is in the world.
Did
for
they
bow
hook you
fishing.
up with a bow?
Oh yeah, we got.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all good.
I mean, those are pretty expensive, I'm sure.
Yeah, about
I'm sure they're
bare
not-
bow, nothing on.
Well,
Almost $1,000.
So
do you compete you guys still go to the Open every year? And
We
everything?
do. The year after that, we were really excited. It's coming to Oklahoma. We're like, well, we'll do good. We finished 4th, which hurts worse than anything. I shouldn't finish 40th. And then the next year in Shreveport, I think we got like 20th, 21. Got a check there too. I think they paid top 22 or 23 teams. And this year it got canceled. Damn COVID.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, it's like anything in life. It's what you put into it. And right now we're all real busy guys. Like I said, one of us lives in Kansas, 2 here, 1 in Texas. But man, my teammates, like I said, they're hard drivers. One of my teammates, he's won like the last 3 numbers world championships. 1 in Oregon, 1 in Louisiana. Anyways,
numbers means he killed the most.
Yeah, he still has the record for the most fish ever shot in a 12-hour tournament.
Wow,
1,481.
So if he listens to this podcast, he's probably not going to like me.
Probably not.
He's not going to appreciate the stuff that I was saying earlier.
Yeah, but yeah, he.
What's funny is over the years, Trent will post this,
and no one ever says nothing.
No one ever says a word. I'm always on there. I'm doing it because it's funny to me, right? I just want to get a rise out of somebody, and then be like, because I'll be ragging on Trent. I'll be like, what? You guys are out there cheating. You're, shining the light in the fish's eyes, blah, 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 blah. Not one person has ever said anything to me over the years. Not one.
What's crazy, too, is 90% of my friends list is bow fishermen. And, like, bow fishermen, you're either the best, probably one of the best people I know in this world, or you are just
scum of the earth.
Horrible. Like, I've started deleting my friends list of bow fishermen that I do not like.
Why?
They're just.
Because they're out there fishing without you, or what?
What's the word I'm looking for in the words of Razor Ramon? Too much machismo.
Oh,
You get big and you don't like it, you know. And then you talk the crap. And man, I don't know. Like I said, there's about 25% of bow fishermen like drive thousands of miles from like I said, I got buddies in Georgia, Missouri, Wisconsin. I don't just bow fish with these guys. I hog hunt with them. We won a hog tournament a year ago.
Dove hunt.
Yeah, we dove hunt together.
Yeah.
But but there's about 75% of them who just, I wouldn't like you outside of the sport. Like if I see you in a grocery store and I don't like you at the boat ramp or the weigh in, like why are we even friends on Facebook?
Right.
Yeah. It's just it's an alpha male sport. It don't seem like it, but it really is for sure.
A lot of toxicity there.
Yes.
A lot of toxic bow fishermen. You recently just went to a tournament, correct?
In Mississippi, yeah.
Yeah. How did y'all do there?
Not great.
What was it?
It was Mississippi State Championship. I think we shot 487 fish, 710 won it. So, like I said, we weren't close. And then one of my teammates, we were shooting with another couple buddies of ours. Both from Louisiana, because our other tournament or teammates couldn't make it. Anyways, we went and shot like 487 with them there. Very next weekend, Arkansas State Championship. They go back and they win it with 981. I was like,
wow,
totally redeem yourself.
Is it always 4-man teams? Is that a thing?
That's the max you can carry. But most people are 4-man. These smaller boats, you see guys with 3.
Sometimes y'all have to be on the same lake in different teams, right?
Yeah.
Now, is it a thing where you guys have to have? This is going to may sound ridiculous, but I'm just wondering. I mean, is chemistry a thing as far as? And I don't mean like standing around talking. I mean like, I guess everybody knows the drill. Everybody knows
as far
who's
as the sport
driving,
goes.
who's running, who's doing what, and all that. I mean,
that's a big thing. You basically got to, especially operating an airboat, you got to have 4 guys that can operate an airboat because it's almost like volleyball. You're in the front left of the boat. You're driving the airboat. You shoot a fish. You got to move yourself out of the equation, go to the back of the boat, throw the fish in the barrel. When you're doing that, I'm scooting up. So then I do it, I move, and you're just constantly, when you get a lot of fish, there's 4 man, you got to have that chemistry, know where everybody's moving, know where to be. The stick's always got to be maintained. If not, you're going to run into trees or rocks or something like that. You always got to keep the boat moving. So, yeah.
Have you ever almost got shot by somebody?
Yes. Me and Todd Monks, we got shot at on Lake Eufaula.
Somebody else?
They shot at us with a gun from the dock.
I wasn't talking about that, but I didn't know
shot
that.
at you?
Shot at us. Yes,
From the dock?
Yes, like
Were
we
they
heard
bow
hit the
fishermen
water.
too?
No, they were just on the dock. I guess they didn't like us being there, and so they shot. Like first we heard the gun, like we heard it hit water, and I was like, Todd, like that's close. He's like, I know, and so I jumped in the bottom of the boat because I'm not taking no chances, and we're like in inches of water because we're bow fishing, and he's hitting the gas, and we're not going nowhere because we're digging in the mud.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, we got to go, and they fired off a couple more, and we got out of there.
That's why you keep like an AR-10 with you, so you can,
A little too heavy, too much weight to carry in the boat.
Yeah, that's a good gun to have right at that time.
So like Chuck Belmore, my buddy, he shoots a 308, and he's like, I'm just a little 6'8" guy.
Well, you don't want to. You want something that's.
You want Harlem Nights?
Well,
Quit
you
shooting
want
that
them
little
to,
shit.
Yeah, you want them to take cover. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's stupid. I talk about it all the time. Like, my kids. I'm like, I think about I love my kids to go bow fishing. I go, do I want my kids doing this stuff, man? Like my wrist is still healing when I got slung out of an airboat about 3 months ago.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. See the shin all tore up from hitting the light rail when I got thrown out.
How'd you get? What did you hit? Shallow waters?
Yeah, we were scouting one night for a tournament, and I was driving, and the water was dingy, and we're on a sand bank, so I'm not expecting there to be rocks out there. Hit a pile of rocks, just lawn darted off the front of the airboat. It happens quite frequently, actually.
I don't want to say that you deserve that, but I'm going to say that you deserve that.
Did anybody laugh?
No, well,
was it a big deal?
The third guy
scary?
The third guy who did get thrown in, he was laughing at me and Andrew who got thrown out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would have a hard time not laughing.
Everybody went over?
Just me and Andrew. Hunter did not. It's funny.
I
Are
would
we
have
live here? I thought my bow fishing buddies are texting me right now. I was like, shut up.
Tell that Ben.
Yeah. Kick his ass. Yeah.
So you fell out of the boat.
Oh, that just happens all the time, man.
That happens all the time.
Oh yeah, you hit something, you get slung out. It's
But if
just
you ever almost got shot by a bow from one of your teammates?
No, I've seen pictures of people that have gotten shot in the boat. My guys, we're usually pretty good. You know, the big one is don't ever point. Like if you don't got an arrow, you know, knocked up, ready to shoot, and you see a fish, don't ever point at it, because the time you go to point at it, someone's probably already
Get shot in
seen
the
it.
finger.
Yeah. No, the only infliction of injury I've ever had was Andrew one time. It was a small, stupid little fish too. And for some reason, he just jerked his bow back. When he did, he just caught me right in the eye. And like, I'm bleeding out the eye the rest of the tournament, like lacerated my face. But no, I've never been shot with an arrow. I don't want to be ever shot with an arrow.
Well, what's
No
one of the
way.
besides getting shot at
Mm-hmm.
and getting flung out of the boat? What's another funny story or
Man,
crazy story?
There's so many. I guess one time, it's like one of the first time JJ's ever shot with us, and we had this body of water, and it's like, JJ, we got big fish found. Like, it's just going to be trouble getting to them. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, like, you're going to have to run dry ground for a little while, then we'll fall back in some water. As soon as we get in the water, though, there's fish everywhere. I knew they were there. I've known about them from since I was young. He's like, all right. Well, in my head, I didn't realize how low the water was. And so we backed the boat down. And when I say we back it down, like it's an airboat. So we just hit the brakes and we're on gravel. But it's not gravel. It's like big chunk rock, you know. I was like, all right, head this way. There's going to be water. And we had about 45 minutes of shooting time. This drive was so far from the meeting location for the tournament. We knew once we got to the water, we had about 45 minutes to shoot 20 big fish. And so we unload.
No pressure.
No pressure. And here I go. And he's going. And, dude, I swear, like, me and him talk for 30 minutes while we're driving across this big chunk rock, just in this airboat. Wow, 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 wow. And he's like, where's the water? And I was like, dude, we should be in water.
Is it his boat?
Yeah. And I'm thinking we should have been
It's
in
like
water.
you're beating the shit out of my boat here.
And I'm thinking, man, we should be in water by now. In my head, I'm like, I see landmarks, and normally this is water. I'm thinking, shit, this thing's dry as a bone.
So you just drive these things on the land?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
why they use them.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that
This ain't land, though. This ain't like dirt. I'm talking like this is a creek bed, but there's no water on top of it. Like, it is big.
I just figured
rocks.
you could ever, for a little while, but not like for miles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so we're
Just
going.
dry on okay.
And he's
All right.
looking at me like, dude, what's up? And I'm thinking, oh, my God. You know, I got the elevation of this
And you
water.
still
on.
got to go back. That's the
Oh,
thing
yeah.
about as far
That's
as you
where
go.
it gets good, too. Yeah. with about 500 pounds of fish. And all of a sudden,
Dang.
like, I see water up there. And, dude, we hit the water. And it's just like monster fish everywhere. I'm just... We shoot like 37 big fish in no time. And I'm like, well, we need to head back because we know how rough it is. Like I said, we had 45 minutes. This is an 8-hour tournament. We had 45 minutes of shooting time. That's how far we had to
God.
go. Yeah. And so we go back across the water or the rocks, and we got these fish, and we're all sitting there, and two buddies are in the back, and me and JJ's on the front, and they're like, dude, like, I don't know if we're going to make it. Well, somehow we missed one of our little channels, and we're going all of a sudden, like, I hear, oh, crap, because I'm kind of kneeling beside him. It's about a ledge, probably about as tall as this desk. We're on top of this rock. Well, it falls down in the water down here. So we're coming this way, and we
hit
just
that
basically ramp off that ledge, bam, into that channel we needed to be back into. Scared me to death. Like, I just knew that boat was going to land on top of me in the
kill
water and
everybody.
kill me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't, though. But that was a great story. Not one of the time we ramped an airboat with Colton Cook. That was pretty cool.
You ever get stranded?
What do you consider stranded?
Stranded.
Me, Jimmy Gammons, my dad. I think Matt Stark was there. We were put in below Eufaula Dam one time, sucked some sand up in my motor, and we had to flow all the way to Tomahawk or Vian. So, yeah, all through the night, we just, in the river, just aimlessly floating about till we ended up in Vian. That was a pretty good haul.
Jeez, dude.
I like who was it? I guess when we won the U.S. Open, Tawny Taylor was Tawny Chet. She said, "A sport that has almost caused more divorces. Now you're, world champion at it." And I had a lot of friends like, "I can't go with you anymore." Like just getting stranded, doing stupid stuff. But always something stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of one of my hobbies. Me and Ben, we're really proficient at it together. Good teammates.
And we found the only time I ever went since you on a boat was or since the last few years.
Yeah.
We found a paddle boat
just out there,
just out in the middle of the lake, and so we started having a little fun with the paddle boat, pulling it behind the boat and getting on it and
surfing on it.
That's what we do. It gets really crazy really fast.
Why didn't we take that thing?
Because we wanted to have fun with it. We wanted to.
Why didn't we take it home with us?
Oh, because it wasn't any good.
Yeah, it might have been. We could have patched it.
Not after we got finished.
No. After that, it was. I'm surprised it didn't blow my motor up pulling that thing through the water.
We were wakeboarding with it, so I've got footage of all that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
We got a lot of footy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's something it's unfortunate that you've been as successful as you have been with it, like legit success.
Yeah. Wasn't it in the paper though? Was it in Latimer's paper?
Wolverton paper, yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, being the world champion of, I don't care what it is, hot dog eating or whatever you want to say. I mean, there's
you deserve more.
We've had you on here and we haven't talked about it.
Right.
Yeah. That's always bugged me. It's one of those things you're just like, why in the hell didn't we?
Is this
this
is the first time you've talked about it really in public, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, because I see you
shame.
after you win the world and you're just like regular old Joe Schmo. You're like, how's everything going today?
I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I'm just a world champion over
I
here.
remember like it was yesterday. I was on Sardis.
Yeah.
Lake Sardis or Sardis Lake. I was on Sardis Lake.
Where we going with this?
You pull up your Facebook. Do you see it on Facebook?
No. Somebody on the boat did. They go, "Oh, Trent just won the world championship or whatever." I was like, I didn't even know you were there. I was like, this is one of my very best friends.
Yeah.
Like, we're ultra close.
Uh-huh.
I know him better than anybody. Anybody.
But he knows you won't give a damn if he told you he was going to the U.S. Open.
If I could have texted him or called him, Ben, I just won the U.S. Open World Championship, he'd be like, great.
He's
Whatever.
like, I didn't. He's like,
No.
I knew we played tennis for fun sometimes, but you won the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
No, I remember having this weird feeling over me. I was like, this is big.
Everything's changed.
You go, this motherfucker.
Well, I was like, no, he deserves it. Like, I was absolutely excited for him, even though I know I give you hell and shit about bow fishing. It's ridiculous. I know I say that a lot, but it was, I don't know, dude. I was so, I don't know. I was excited for you, but I was like, at the same time, I was like, this dude I didn't even know he was in Springfield. Yeah. I didn't know he was even out of the state. I thought if I texted him this morning, he might have been at home. Like, hey, man, you want to come to Sardis, and hang out? Exactly. No, dude, I'm winning a freaking world championship.
That's why us three need to get Live 360 so we always know where each other's at. Ooh. That was a plug for that was one of the bow fishing sponsorships I picked
Live
up.
360?
Live 360.
Okay. Yeah. I thought that was like an Apple thing. Is that an Apple thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
Apple.
Yeah.
Pick that one up.
Listen, if Apple wants to sponsor, I will start supporting Apple.
You dogging that Apple Live.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
I think someone the other day was talking about Androids. Like, I remember when I was like a chubby teenager or something like that, and it's cool. Like, Ben's still holding on, though.
Yeah, well. All right, we're back. It's going to be a really quick break as far as the podcast goes, but we just took a break. We're back.
It's like you never even had to take a break at home.
Never had to take a break.
Welcome back to blinking.
But we took a long break, and we've been laughing a lot, and we're going to get back on track. We just wrapped up world champion Trent Hardaway, his story of being a bow fisherman with his teammates.
I miss that guy.
You missed that guy.
And
there he is.
Yeah.
He's on the wall.
I'm Rocky. I'm still Rocky.
Do you think those are 10s?
Man, no.
No, they're definitely 45s.
Them calf implants, though.
Yep. We're talking about the poster on the wall. If you're only listening, you will not know what we're talking about. But the video will be on YouTube. So you can go to our
Yeah.
YouTube channel and you can see every podcast.
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
I Don't Drink Coffee Podcast.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
kinda goes hand
And
in
we're
hand.
available on all platforms. And this episode is brought to you by Black Line Insurance Group. Visit blacklineinsurancegroup.com or email me at ben@Blackline Insurance Group. And for all of your insurance needs and wants.
It's also brought to you by Fat Tire Beer.
Fat Tire Beer.
That's what I'm drinking. It's a craft beer, and you're on a craft beer kick, so
I am on a craft beer kick. It's very,
it's not craft beer. It's like a high-end
but it
domestic.
is funny
It is
on the
funny.
stuff that I'm.
I'm laughing really hard at your post here lately on the group page. They're pretty good.
Are you really?
Yes,
Okay, good, good. Because
I
I'm
think
posting a lot of
they're
them.
pretty good.
Speaking of, well, let's talk about football first. Then we'll talk about Facebook posts.
The football?
Facebook group. Facebook group is growing. So if you're into Facebook groups and you're on Facebook, find us on Facebook. Send an invite to join.
Yeah, you really need to approve people a little bit faster, though, man. You're letting them, kind of bunch up at 2 or 3 at a time.
They're-
before
Well,
you
they're
get
on
them.
auto approval. So I don't know why some of them don't get through. And I think the reason why some of them don't get through is because they're suspect.
They're bots.
I think they may be bots or they're just
Well, I've seen
fake
one,
accounts.
yeah. But now 2 of them didn't answer the question, and one of them did. That was waiting the other day. But I'm kind of like you. One of them, I was like, that doesn't
And
look
if you're
legit.
out there and you're a bot, don't try to join the group.
No, don't try to join the group.
Yeah,
we
we
want
don't-
real people.
we don't like you, bot.
And no, we
I
don't
mean, with
like
5G,
bots.
the world's going that way, and it's all going to be bot driven, but
Right.
not yet.
But at this point,
we're
want
still here.
We want a real organic group.
Yes.
It's just a bunch of funny memes, and we sprinkle in some personal stuff every now and
It's
then.
got-
Few nudes.
Way better.
Yes,
The
it has.
group as a whole,
Pretty clean.
so much
No,
better,
thanks to
man.
you though, because you had no hand in it whatsoever.
I don't do any of that stuff.
I
just
need you
show
to
up.
do that. I need you to do
Dude,
it.
I don't know what I'm doing.
So we're gonna talk about football because football season started. And what was you gonna say? Sorry.
Oh, no. I just remember when the I Don't Drink Coffee podcast was a place for dank memes and good times. Then Ben came and been the fun police with it all.
Yeah,
Way to go,
well,
It's Ben Klein.
It's
You want his
because I had
address?
a-
I'll give you his
I had
address.
a lot of people. And I'm not. And there weren't just women. There were men too, coming to me and being like, "Dude, I have to hide this stuff. I have to get out of the group. I have to delete myself. I have to delete the group because it's just too bad."
And if
It's
you
just
don't know,
too-
Ben,
And
he
it's
has
not-
his McAllister group of people, and they're like upper echelon type
No.
people, and,
Exactly.
and they
If you-
tell
if-
him how to
yeah, if you
dictate his
listened
life.
Earlier, you learned that I'm a hermit, so there you go. That's what Benny Klein
I'm
does.
surprised you wanted to know you're an eye racer, man. I don't know how that's going to fit in with those people. You know what I mean? They may not appreciate
They
it.
may not appreciate it. I don't give a single fuck about it. Okay.
Whoa, is
Not
that going to
one.
make the podcast?
It'll make the podcast.
That will
But anyways,
not make the podcast.
It's the second F-bomb I think I've dropped on here, and I don't care what anybody thinks of me.
At all?
Period. Nobody.
Even from McAllister?
Especially McAllister.
Whoa.
Well, you're taking on a lot of air in your chest there. You know
I
what
know,
I mean?
I'm like, especially
Might
McAllister.
want to take that bass out of your voice, you know?
No, I don't have an issue with anybody, but no, I'm not trying to impress nobody.
Well, and we've talked about it since day one of this thing about, there's between the 3 of us sitting here, really good personalities, hilarious things said constantly. It's hard to find sometimes that balance between being funny and what's appropriate, and what are we trying? Is there an image? What are we trying to project? Are we not? Do we not care? It's this whole. And you think whenever we started it, I remember one of the big things about I was like, well, I just want to be ourselves. Well, it's easy to say until it's rolling and it's on, it's recorded in cyberspace or whatever. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is laid down on the internet forever. So have a great day saying what you said and it being there from now on. It's like, ugh. And the further we get along into this technological age, the more sometimes uncertain I am about it. I'm like, damn, dude, when I look back at my post from 7 or 8 years ago on Facebook or whatever, I'm just like, I was a douche. You know what I mean? The shit. Why would I even? Number one, most of the things, who gives a shit about the things that I was putting on there? You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's the hard part is you go,
I see the same stuff. I'm deleting.
you
Oh,
progress.
every day on my
Oh,
memory,
every day.
I'm
Yeah.
deleting
Yeah.
them, dude. Me and Ben talked about it was MySpace. Like, dude, that was lawless, wild, wild west. Like, we had no guidance.
None.
People were just whatever came into their mouth, they were typing
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
dude, it's bad.
It was very bad.
Yeah.
But But at the same time, who cares?
Well, it was a newfound freedom, and I mean, and nobody's. I say nobody, but I mean, it's unlikely that somebody's going to really jam us up about something we say on here. But
it can
at
happen.
the same time, you do have a life outside of what you're saying here, so you kind of have to consider that. I mean, I've got now. I didn't when we first started Facebook. When we first started the podcast, I didn't, but now I have guys that I work with that I'm friends with on Facebook that see that I do a podcast, and they know it. And I remember in the beginning I'd really bitch about my work and all that, that kind of thing like that. Now I'm
Notice
like,
you haven't in a while.
I probably shouldn't say anything.
I'm wondering if you're loving your job now for some reason.
Actually, honestly, dude,
Better.
I'm going to be 100% honest right now. COVID-19 is the best thing that ever happened to my job because the hours are a lot more. They're more flexible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I say that because they don't want us working together, so we have to work like these alternating shifts. And I go to work at like noon and work my day and be done with it.
Nice.
I thought you guys just said whatever you wanted to because this was your full-time gig now. Like, it'd be sweet just to be a full-time podcaster and just spout off whatever you wanted to say.
I mean, eventually that's what we hope.
Yeah.
That we can.
Well, when I'm a guest,
Do this
when I'm a
more.
guest, like, you just kick me 10, 20 G's every time I'm on. Just
Well,
float me, then I'll
yeah.
just retire too.
Okay. All right, cool.
Dude, that's like I was wanting to look up, this new Spotify deal that Joe Rogan has. I'd like to know
But he's
the
paying
dollar amount of that.
Oh,
you
it's
know what I mean?
astronomical.
Well, and because I heard him talking about it, they wanted to. They didn't try to. He had other people come to him and want to buy the rights to it. You
library.
keep doing
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Blah blah. I think it was like NBC or somebody weirdly big. And they're like, well, if you'll sell us the rights, and he's like, nah, I just want to keep it like it is. It's not about money. And then Spotify said, we don't want to own anything. We just want to have exclusive rights to put it out there. And then, booyah. You know what I mean? So he's still creatively 100% in control. Anything that has to do with it, has its name on it, whatever, is all his. Joe Rogan's podcast is the most famous one, but
By far.
the beauty of them to me, most of the time whenever I watch anything, I watch a lot of clips of those episodes instead of the entire thing.
Yeah.
But I watch them. I don't really watch them for Joe Rogan. I watch them because the diversity.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you could hear anything. And that's what the beauty of what we're doing, the freedom of almost being unknown or whatever you want to say, is like being able to have anybody. When we're talking about the bow fishing thing, or we Dr. Woodruff talking about COVID, or we got these things that what I consider are like everyday normal life, and we can have people on here talking about it. That's one thing I like to listen to because Joe Rogan's liable to have anybody, conspiracy theorist, and the next week he may have some sort of a doctor or a celebrity or whatever, and you get to hear some take they have on it. And I find myself even listening to people that like Miley Cyrus. I watched about 15 minutes of hers, you know what I mean? And I don't give a damn about Miley Cyrus or what she's doing and what she's not doing. But that's, to me, I hate the news, right?
I was about to say, Ben said, well, why would Spotify do that? Well, why did news channels do that? Just give me the news. I don't need your opinion. I don't want your side on it. I just want the gosh damn news. That's all I want. Just like, this happened today. Don't tell me like what you thought about it.
This is why I don't watch the news.
Yeah,
news.
And that's what, for me, it's a way to digest
Like you said, give me the news.
somebody that you would normally never get to hear of or from. Especially if you're not a news watcher or an entertainment watcher person, whatever you want to say. I don't know. I don't do any of that. I don't enjoy any of that shit. You know what I mean? Anything that calls itself a news source or whatever, I'm out on.
I love your blog, though.
What is it?
Your blog. Never mind. You know what a blog is? A blogger.
Yeah.
I just act
Oh.
and people be like, dude, you got a blog?
Oh,
And
yeah,
man's gonna
I-
ask you about it, but never
No
mind.
way.
We'll edit that.
No blog.
I was sitting there thinking, I don't think I have one, man.
LJ should have a blog though, because he's got a lot of thoughts and a lot of opinions.
does.
Dude, nobody wants to read my shit, but I force you guys to. But anyways, but the cool thing about it is it gives me an opportunity to hear even viewpoints from people that they're not from where I'm from. And
echo chamber once again.
yeah, you know, I mean, like, what's that crazy conspiracy theorist guy that he has on there sometimes that he talks about? But I mean, even that stuff, even though I know it's bullshit, it'll get me thinking in a certain direction.
Jesse
you know?
Ventura.
No, well, no, but what is that guy's name? Anyways, that I like it because I like to take in information. I don't like to take in people's opinions necessarily. It depends if it's politically driven or if it's like religious in its persuasion or whatever. I'm like, no, man, I'm good. But if we want someone to talk about the human condition, being alive, being a person on the earth, yeah, dude. I mean, I'd love to hear anybody's stories if I don't even know them. You know what I mean? Or,
Well, that's why I said that this kid that was a spotter for this team. I was like, man, why not?
Yeah.
Why not have him on? If he gets on here and he acts a clown or whatever, and it's a 15-minute podcast. It's 15 minutes of some kind of content that he could put out, and
That is you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Content.
right content.
Gotta have that
we've got to put
content.
more content out. I've got to do a better job at putting the content out too, because
This is for Brian Crockett right here.
yeah.
Brian
Well,
Crockett.
Brian,
Thank you.
listen, Brian, I want to bring up the story again because I know Brian now. He's like, okay, Ben has stopped about the story, because I know earlier he's probably, when he listens to this, going down the highway and stuff, and he hears me trying to get LJ to tell a story about him.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, dude, shut up,
I don't remember what story I was going to tell though, dude.
You didn't tell it.
I know, but
Well, the
but I
vasectomy
was
story,
trying to
yeah,
get it
but-
out of you, and I know Crockett, when he listens to this, he's going to be like, "What are you doing? Quit, shut up! I don't want nothing, embarrassing out there." And of course, if it was something over the top or whatever, if it's going to make Crockett look bad, I would not air it. But I was just pressing the issue because
Well, he's really good natured though.
Yeah.
I know
what
he
mean?
is.
He's
I
a
know
very,
he is.
Yeah, the story he was getting in a
so
fight.
here
He's
I am
getting
bringing it up again, and he's going to be like, "Okay, why do we got to talk about me again?"
Yeah.
But
You need to.
I
Crockett
know
loves the
that
show.
and
you just don't get the
loves
content
show,
out fast enough
and,
for him.
I'm very happy that Crockett loves the show. No joke. And I think it's funny to me, and I know it's not funny to him. It's funny to me that LJ gets a call at 7 a.m. That fuels my fire, and it's not that I'm like, okay, well, I
I
can't
just got
wait
out of
to-
the shower.
I can't wait
I'm
to
like, holy
piss.
shit.
I can't wait to piss Crockett off, because I don't want to make Crockett mad.
Well, I'm thinking, why is Crockett calling me at 7 in the
But
morning?
it's
I'm
such
thinking
a
he needs
great
help.
story.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he's in a ditch.
I'm over here drying off.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Where's the rest of the podcast,
Yeah, he's
asshole?
like, and the first words is, what the fuck is Ben doing? You know what I'm like, what?
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do?
I thought this dude has got on Facebook last night or, at midnight and put some
drunk.
shit.
Yeah.
Said, I don't drink coffee podcast, hates Jesus or something.
Yeah.
I don't know where
Yeah.
we were, because Crockett was pissed off. I'm like, what? What do you mean, man? I'm trying to listen all the way home and he cuts it off in the middle of, he can at least wait till the end of a sentence. I'm like, I don't know.
It's
I
very
ain't
true.
listened to it.
It's very true. But it was like a, it was a test. I know people kept griping to me, and they're like, "Quit putting 4 and 5 hour long podcasts on. I only want at the most an hour."
Yeah.
So, dude, I was cutting it off 1
Right.
hour.
No matter
1
where it
hour.
was at.
No matter where it was at.
Just
Pretty much
incoherent,
1
rambling
hour.
thought. Just stop.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes, and so it was a test, and
You failed?
I think it passed.
Really?
I
They
think it
like
passed.
it better?
Honestly, Gavin's podcast has done really well.
Yeah.
And I think even the one before that, I did the same thing, and it done really well as well. I don't.
Trent's, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's like Netflix. We never see the numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
I ask you guys, how'd I do in your podcast? You did good.
You did good. You did good. Eventually, we'll. I guess we can share that stuff with our guests or whatever. Just how good their podcast did.
If you don't watch my podcast, I'm
the name of the
defriending
game,
you.
really what it's about.
That's loud.
It's about our guests trying to help us get exposure as well. So when they get when their podcast airs, they need to be sharing it and spreading it. And
Well,
and
the
all
thing
that.
about, see, that's just like, now, Brandy, my wife, Brandy.
I can't do it just myself.
She gauges these things off of how naturally, how relaxed,
Organic.
everybody is. You know what I mean? Like she goes, Trent did way better on this because he was just kind of like, he was just himself, you know? And I was like, yeah, everybody's got to get used to it.
I was sitting back like this, and then Ben told me to quit, and I got to get up here and get uncomfortable and rigid again.
Well,
Structured.
I feel like we're doing a better job as well. I feel like just every episode, it seems like we're doing me anyways.
Yeah.
You've never had an issue.
He said, I'm doing great.
Sure.
You're just kind of
no,
sucking.
no,
you know,
because
you're kind of a lost cause, but you keep showing up. So what the fuck am I gonna do?
well, you gotta. I mean, I've said it a million times, but I edit a lot of my own stupid stuff out. You know, and I'm kind of past that point. You know,
and
I think you're both though now. You're seasoned, and you need to get past the point of talking about the podcast.
yeah, I agree. We're gonna have to move on to
just
real
not
stuff.
talking about it.
About like how it's going, the mics, the equipment, how you're getting better. Just I've heard a couple people talk about it. I started going back and listening. Yeah, like every episode, they're kind
They've said that.
Yeah.
Well, it's
need to probably
one of
edit
those
this,
things
too.
where you know you're like smiling at somebody, and you're like, well, you know, my smile sucks. I know, but here it is.
Like when you
know?
see pictures of yourself,
Yeah,
you're
right.
like, "Fuck, man! Why do I take pictures?"
You know,
Right.
I get so mad. You see those girls, and if this makes the podcast, you know who you are out there. The same smile every picture, and maybe a little bit deviation or variety.
Every single picture.
Yes,
Yeah. Have you not seen the?
you have practiced that. You cannot tell me you haven't practiced that in the mirror.
I want to know how many pictures were taken to get that one that's put on the internet.
You've seen the TikTok
talked
video
about
where
this.
the guy walks up to there's like a family taking a picture, and the mom's standing there, and somebody walks up and says something to her, and she's like, "You can't. There's no audio."
Yeah.
She's sitting there going, and she goes.
Like it's nothing.
She goes right back to smiling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, holy shit, I'm scared of somebody that can do that, you know?
If you ever have to give a young man advice, like one of your sons, my son, your son, don't marry a girl who has the exact same smile in every Facebook or Instagram
That
photo.
would be probably my initial,
Yeah.
I think I've already told Kason that before, you know, several times.
That has
And
been
Ethan as
practiced
well.
too much.
It depends on what you're into. I mean, if you're, I'm a more of a, what would you call it? Natural. You know,
Natural.
You're a natural beauty. I'd say that.
I was talking about my taste in women. You know, I enjoy more natural.
Yes, for sure, more natural.
Yeah.
But I think what we're doing is great, and we're getting better with every
I
episode.
think you're great.
And we'll
I do
move
too.
on, and we won't talk about it anymore. If you don't like it, then listen to the next one. You might like it.
You won't even mention the name of the gosh damn podcast anymore if that's what y'all want.
We won't do it.
Why would we? Everybody knows what it is. You know?
Yeah.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true.
It's a stupid ass name anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I get that a lot when I'm on iRacing. Well, I drink coffee. I'm like, okay, hang on a second. Now I go, because people on my team, okay, they kind of give me a shout out before we go to the race. So they'll hit the radio button. So you're talking to all the racers, and he'll go, hey. Does anybody drink coffee in here or whatever? He goes, I got a friend's got a podcast, and I go, oh yeah, thanks man for the intro. You know, it's just, we're joking around, but it's still very funny, and it gets a lot of people talking about it. They're like, oh man, it sounds like something I want to listen to. And the guy that said that, I do not like him anymore. We kind of got into it a little bit on the track. He talked a little smack about me and stuff, saying that.
Were y'all out there rubbing pixels?
Oh.
Yeah, we were rubbing pixels. Yes.
Damn.
We were pixel fighting.
Yeah. Pixel fight.
Yeah, so but I want to do a little shout out to James C. Jones, is one of my teammates, and Matt Francis.
Oh, hey, Matt, James.
Yeah, and Matt Francis from Tennessee. He builds houses. And James C. Jones is a teacher, PE teacher in Arizona, and then Joshua Anderson.
I know Joshua Anderson.
Yeah, he does.
I know Joshua Anderson.
Yes, he does a lot of electrician. I think he's an electrician in Wilburton, Oklahoma. He's a good.
He's
good
bow
friend of
fished
us.
with me before.
He has bow fished with you. I did not know that.
Yes.
That is something neither one of you has shared with me.
It's just his 8 degrees. Was it 6 degrees? 6 degrees of Josh Anderson. Whatever the Kevin Bacon thing is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember what it is either.
Is it Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Oh okay. I watched Footloose the other day, by the way.
Good movie.
Very odd and very random that I watch any movie. Period. I don't really watch.
I don't like
anymore.
movies no more either.
I don't either.
TV show guy.
The series have really taken over. But Footloose was on, and
You
I
gotta
was
watch
eating lunch.
Footloose.
And I turned it on because I was like, dude, I haven't watched this since it came out.
Yeah.
So
Mine the other day, I don't watch movies anymore either, but I had to watch American Ninja again. Still pretty rough.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought about that movie forever.
All right, well, let's get back on track. Let's talk about football season in Oklahoma has commenced.
Wilburton. Sorry. I just said that there for you guys.
Go
Got on.
ahead.
Yeah.
Wilburton won their game.
Yeah.
They played Pecola.
Pecola.
Right? Smashed them.
47-14.
It's
something
always awesome when Wilburton wins. I always love to hear that.
like that. He lies. He don't
Very
care.
excited. No, I do care. I do care. Love
Grayson
Wilburton very
Mathis
much.
was Player of the Week
Yeah.
in McAllister paper.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. That's really
Good.
cool. I like to see it. He's doing really well.
Yeah, what was he?
So,
13 of 16, like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Did they stream the game?
He was on Eastern TV.
Here's my thing about games nowadays. Every one of them need to be streamed. From junior high up.
I think it's coming. You know what I mean? The infrastructure thing, it's, this COVID thing kind of jump started all
Yeah.
of it. And I think that's going to be a thing.
A lot of grandparents can't travel. Or
We live in like the 47th or the third poorest state there is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
it's
it's
kind of
not-
tough too, Ben.
I mean, everybody's got internet and everybody's got a camera. So what's hard about that? Nothing.
Well,
Let's get it done.
It's getting to where, where
Oh,
it's a
you
lot
just
more
want a guy
accessible.
with like an iPhone just streaming it. You want a production. You just want like me in the stands streaming
No,
it.
not that, but something a little better than that. But that would be a good start. I mean, if somebody wanted to live stream their iPhone, had some good internet to it, some good video.
We
where
can't even
can
get our
just-
cemetery mode here, Ben.
We can't get our cemetery mode. So, McAllister has started football as well. They've already high school has had a game. LJ's son, he was on our last podcast, episode 24. He's a senior this year. Had his first game, and you want to talk about that a
It
little
had
bit?
a pretty good game. Yeah, I mean,
McAllister came off with the win.
yeah. He had a really good start, and then right before the half, he dropped a couple of passes I thought he should have caught. Definitely one right in the numbers that he should have caught, and so I was feeling a little bit aggravated
Rubbing the
going into
beard.
halftime. I was like, okay, it's ass chewing time. I mean, it's not going to be good. Of course, his coaches were on him already and that kind of thing. But anyway, I mean, the team as a whole, and I haven't got to watch any of Wilburton's football or anything. I haven't even got to talk to Jeff Marshall. Usually I get to talk to him, kind of before season starts. I'll see him somewhere, but I haven't seen him this year. COVID. I blame it. I seriously do blame it on COVID-19 for real. And I kind of get a feel for how they're going to be and that kind of thing just from him, because he's pretty honest with me about it. And he's good God, he knows everything there is to know about football. So,
Well, McAllister was only given their players and the band students, the band, and the maybe pom and cheerleaders
5 passes.
5 passes,
I didn't get one.
and
I did.
So, I kind of want to explain a little bit, because I know in a year from down the road, if we listen to this, or 5 years or 10 years, I kind of want to explain what's the situation and what's going on.
I think everybody knows COVID was happening in 2020.
Well, I know, but when the kids that are little now, when they grow up and they
Kids, we
listen,
had
they're going to
this
be like,
virus.
"This is how it went down." Okay, so yeah, McAllister's limited the number of people, and you're supposed to wear a mask. You're absolutely supposed to wear a mask if you were inside the gate.
Did you wear a
And-
mask the whole time, LJ?
LJ did wear a mask.
I
but
wore a
did-
mask
but
until
did-
it got dark, and I look around, and nobody's wearing one. And so then I was like, I'm tired of being the only guy up here sweating.
Yeah.
Because I wore one of those neck gaiters like an idiot that I had never worn
thermal.
before. I had never worn it. You know what I mean? So I thought,
But it
this
looked
would be...
fashionable.
Yeah, well, I just thought,
Kind of like an ascot.
I sweat, and I've been wearing the little blue paper masks or whatever. And I
Surgical
thought,
masks,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I thought, I don't want to sweat through this thing. Everybody, I'm bad enough that I weigh almost 300 pounds, and I'm standing here trying to talk to you with sweat dripping off my mask. That's going to be awesome, But so I wore that thing, and horrible idea.
It was a home
Horrible.
game, and who did we play?
We played. I almost said Salisbury, but that's who we just got canceled. We played. I'm drawing a blank, dude. Who did we play?
It wasn't
Broken
Bishop
Bow?
Kelly. No.
Broken Bow.
Bow,
So
yeah.
it was, for God's sake, dude.
Played Broken Bow?
I could see black and gold because they had the same colors we did.
Coming
But I
in, they
couldn't-
were undefeated team, correct? I mean, I know it's the first game of the day.
I don't know. I know
year.
Gavin and them hadn't played him since Gavin was a freshman, And Gavin had a really good game. They played him at Broken Bow when Gavin was a freshman. He had a really good game against them. They had a really tall quarterback. He was like 6'11" or something.
This
like
year?
that. No, this is back.
Oh.
But that's something I remember about that game. But they hadn't played him since then. And then it was in the first half. McAllister just kind of ran away with it. I mean, they scored all their points in the first half.
Wow.
21-6, right? Going into the
Yeah,
half.
yeah. It was kind of like, oh wow, we're really we're having a good game. So this is nice.
And I did listen to the first half on my way to go hunting, because I was texting you guys as everything was going on.
What were you hunting?
Hogs, not dove for sure. Sorry,
a lot of
interrupt.
hogs too.
Yeah.
Saw that. But anyway, we get through into the second half, and it slowed down a little bit. A lot of it was rust. I blame a lot of the. I've never seen in the years since Gavin's been playing. There's usually been one or two standout kids on defense, especially, that was always. You count on this guy to make a play, or you count on these two guys. If you get past these two guys, oh shit, you know what I mean? And this season, I saw a lot of kids hitting hard, a lot of kids flying around, kids playing in different positions you hadn't seen them play in, young kids stepping up, a lot of sophomores playing that are playing at a pretty high level, and it was interesting to watch that part of it. I can't really explain what happened on the offensive side of the ball. I don't really know. I blame a lot of it on Russ. Just, they didn't scrimmage anybody. They had like 5 practices in pads, and then boom, you're playing a game. So it looked like a scrimmage should look, where you go, we're going to be good this year, where you're going, okay, this was a scrimmage. We get the jitters out of the way. Everybody's, if there's any new hand signals, everybody remembers them now. We'll be fine going on. So I feel good about them. I mean, I felt good about them against Salisaw. And they canceled that game because of
going into the last quarter, minute of the game?
Oh yeah, 3 minutes left.
This is what I want to talk about.
Okay, they scored with like
real quick before we get bold prediction. Is this a playoff team right now? What's the date? What date is it?
It is September
5th.
Yep.
You make the call. Is this a playoff football team?
They're definitely. They're going to go. I would say deep in the playoffs.
Ooh, that's a good prediction. That is a fearless prediction.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I feel like just we changed up quite a bit. They restructured some stuff in 5A, so we play some people we've never played. But it's like I told Gavin, they can play with anybody. I mean, I really feel like they're going to be able to play with anybody in 5A. So
going to 3 minutes left in the game.
Well, they scored a touchdown, so it's.
Broken Bow scored a touchdown.
Yeah, it's 20. What was it? 21? 21-13.
Yep.
Okay. We got the ball and we drive down. We get what penalty was it? It was like a 10 or 15-yard penalty. Anyway, we end up in the red zone. We're down on like the 20-yard line, 25-yard line, something like that. Anyways, they run a run play. McAllister runs a little, I don't know, some sort of a run play. I don't even know what it was now. But in the process of making the handoff, I think the quarterback was going to pull the ball because he saw this kid coming through. I think the middle linebackers who ended up getting it. And the running back was trying to take the ball, and they weren't together on it, I think. And so they fumbled it. This kid picks it, the middle linebacker picks it up on the run, scoops up the ball, and is going the distance. Yeah. And as hard as he can run.
He's going for speed.
Yeah. And everybody is just kind of like, oh.
Well, it's over. Yeah.
And so like I said earlier,
or touchdown.
I look to see where my son is because, he's been taught always, and he's always been good about it, is when the whistle blows, the play's over. Not before. You do not stop what you're doing until the whistle blows. And he turned around and run the kid down, stopped him from scoring. And
it was a phenomenal play.
It was awesome.
And you uploaded it on Facebook, so I highly recommend anyone and everyone out there to check out this play. It is a awesome.
It's rad.
It's a really good show effort. It shows
everything you, like we talked about earlier, everything you want to see, in a player. He showed it in that play. determination, effort, everything.
Little athleticism.
Very much.
I mean, he's a little bit of an
athleticism.
athlete.
Yeah. He only running really fast.
If you can give me that video code, I'll upload it to my MySpace too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Well, here's the thing about, and we'll stop real quick, but here's the thing.
Where we
You know,
stop
we
at?
have a Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
And
What's it called?
I Don't Drink Coffee podcast.
Okay. I'm not in it.
And LJ didn't share it in there.
He did he?
Kind of upset about that.
We all got now like 150,000 followers on there.
We got a lot of views.
If you're not in
a lot
there,
of viewership.
you're missing out.
Yeah,
is what
you're
I'm
missing
saying.
out.
Well, it's with the sort of the
Shameless plug for the group.
Yeah.
the comedic overtones of the group.
No, I
it's
get
like,
that.
you know,
I know,
mean,
I get that. But
Where did that comedic undertone of the group come
It's
from?
just because we don't know how to shut up, and you know what I mean. very few things we take seriously.
But that's the thing about the I Don't Drink Coffee podcast is we are. I mean, people ask me all the time, "What's it about? What's it about? What's it about?" I'm like, dude, it's about anything and everything. You can't pin us down to anything.
Well, if anybody knows us very well, though, they always just go, "Oh God," you know what I mean?
Right.
It's always like,
Yeah.
they know we're fucking
sure.
ridiculous.
I will,
You know
say,
what
I
mean?
will
So-
say Jeff Martin posed one question. If you're listening to Jeff Martin, he posed one question, and you pinned these guys down. They did not want to touch it. Remember when I wrote y'all, text y'all that, and I said, "This guy would like to know this." You're like, "Yeah, we're not touching that topic with a 15-foot pole."
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
we're
remember
not.
what it was, but I remember the instance, but I don't remember what the question
Yeah,
was.
We're not gonna touch
so
that.
Jeff Martin, you
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you have
Oh, no,
defeated
hell
the
no.
I Don't Drink Coffee
Yeah.
podcast team here.
Can we even say what it was?
No.
Okay.
Man, you don't want to. It's
No, because I said his name. So you
Oh
can't.
yeah, that's true.
You
You
can get
messed up.
You
You
get an
messed up.
avalanche going, and you know what I mean. You don't want that avalanche.
Yeah.
So-
No.
The world is so torn right now. Let's not blow
Right.
it up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, but people do ask me all the time, "What's it about?" And I'm like, dude, if you just get in our group, you'll see that it's so random. I mean, I post a lot of videos, you know, funny stuff, crazy stuff, personal stuff. We get personal every once in a while, but that's really
I
what the
did tell
group's
everybody
about.
my balls were getting cut off.
You did.
That's pretty personal.
But yes, and then we're going to put that in the group.
It's going to be live.
It's going to be in the group.
Here,
So,
we're talking about the fucking podcast again.
I'm talking about the group.
Oh, you are. Yeah. Gosh damn it.
See?
About the group.
Dude, he's obsessed with it.
told you.
He's obsessed with it.
I'm sorry, now you got me listening for it. I'm waiting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, he started talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
We got to stop.
Yeah.
X-nay, or
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. So we
anyways.
got the football shit out of the way. Yeah. Everybody's doing great. And I'm not blowing it off. I mean, it's to be continued. I mean, we're right in the beginning of it or whatever. But
You didn't talk about the end of the game.
3 minutes left, and then they stopped them from scoring, and we won. Yay! They did
Well,
what they were supposed to do.
they did work the ball all the way down the field
They
to the goal line,
triculated it, yeah.
red zone. They were there.
And some guys stepped up and made some unbelievable. That's what I'm saying about the defense, dude. McAllister defense.
Who
gonna be able
punched
to
the
play
ball
with
out
them.
at the end, at the very end, when the kid was about to
I
score?
think Faber did. I think.
That's what I've heard too.
I believe so.
I was just hoping you knew.
No,
the
now
answer.
Gavin told me the kid dropped it. He just said
dropped
he
it?
dropped it coming across the line.
Oh, okay.
But you know,
That is terrible.
well, I don't know. That's what Gavin
That
said.
sucks.
But you know how it is whenever you're in the middle of especially like a football play. To me, when it's real tight like that, everybody's bouncing off everybody. It's hard to tell what the hell's happening.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of contact, a lot of bells getting. You know, I mean,
I'm guessing Faber's not the kind of guy that gets in the locker room and says,
The locker
"I'm the
room?
one that did it."
Well, and everybody's going to go, "Oh yeah, motherfucker." Well, I was standing out there too. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I'm just saying if he did it,
Yeah,
Well,
but, yeah.
he may just go back in the locker room and
Well, those guys,
we won. That's
well,
awesome.
Well,
you know?
him and Eric McCarty and Gavin, those guys are all they're careful not to take too much credit for anything, even if they did something specifically on their own. You know, what I mean,
Right.
it's more kind of a lead by example type.
Yeah.
You know, silent.
It's a team effort,
thing
man, and
or whatever.
everybody has a part in it.
Well,
you know?
and that's what you're going to see is these guys all talk about Forrest Mazey, and that's the head coach, football coach at McAllister. He's his second season with us, but these guys are all buying in. I'm talking about hardcore buying in, like you want to win for each other, or you want to, you know, they go to the weight room and at 6:30 in the morning, and everybody's pumped. Nobody's tired and dragging around. That's what Gavin was talking about. It's the best energy he's ever seen since he's been in McAllister.
It's a young man's gift there.
Yeah, well, I
Sounds
mean,
good.
you know, what I mean, they're in the weight room and everybody's high fiving and you know, get your weight up and da 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 da, and they're carrying that energy everywhere they're going, you know, as a team. So I think I think they're going to have a really good season. I think McAllister's going to be good for several years. They got a lot of kids coming up every year. I told my younger son Carter. I mean, he's going to get to enjoy a lot of good football. He's going to be on some really good football teams, So, and that's just because I get to watch all these kids because my kids are involved in it or whatever. So there's going to be a lot of good football played, and I'm excited about them.
I'm excited too.
I'm kind of sad every game.
Now, we're supposed to be playing tonight, right? Last night, the night that we show up to do this podcast, we're supposed to be playing, and the game's canceled at Salisaw.
Why did it get canceled?
COVID-19.
Yeah,
Salisaw's
one of the coaches, Salisaw's coaches tested positive for it, so they canceled that game. But
they also canceled a lot of McAllister's softball too.
I heard that.
Until at least a couple of weeks, I think, from now, or a week and a half or whatever. I think the 16th of September, I think is what I read.
And that's what like we were talking about earlier. Gavin was quarantined a few days ago because he was around another student. So he was quarantined for, I guess it's 14 days total. So he'll be back.
He'll be back for the next game.
He'll be back on Thursday
for Ada
and play Ada on Friday.
Yeah.
Where's that game at?
It's at home.
Yeah, I think so.
You gonna give me one of them tickets?
Yeah, man, I can hook you up.
It's a huge game.
Got that hookup.
It's a huge game. It's gonna be a huge game.
Yeah, it's big, like Wilburton Hartshorn.
I think they're letting more people in this game. I read that today on Facebook.
Yeah, they are. There's like 1,000 tickets or something like that. Oh, no, there's 350 more tickets that they're going to release. For not
email.
Not counting,
I got an email.
Not counting the 5 that each player and cheerleader and everybody
additional
gets.
Yeah.
So you can buy those and
yeah, I'm pretty excited for McAllister football this year. I'm pretty excited for Cason's team too. We're looking good.
You hadn't told me much about it, man. I mean, I hadn't.
Well, because we had a game on last Saturday against TYAA. At Tulsa, and we ended up losing 12-7.
Oh, I didn't know that. That sucks.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it that much.
Oh God. Okay.
Well, I don't want to be the we dropped the ball a couple times, and didn't make some stops, and so
they didn't believe in the ball.
That's what that's what we're coaching. That's what we're coaching, to the kids. Hey, but there is another side to the story, but we won't go into that. It's
well, it is in Tulsa. So.
All I want to say is just watch game tape and you'll see. Just watch the game tape. But anyways, let's carry on.
There have been some heated competitions, some heated contests, football contests in Tulsa.
I'll just say this: it was the worst I've ever seen in my entire life. That
you realize that's the same place where I almost saw fistfights happen at a youth football game. I'm talking about coaches were grabbing other coaches and dragging them away, and all the kids were standing around going, "What is happening?"
We talked about it in the last podcast, right?
Yes, this is where that was.
Yeah,
and you're like, "Oh my God,"
Yeah, man, it was crazy, but man, last year when we left the field. We were talking amongst ourselves, and we were like, man, we just need, a couple more fill in the blanks. We need we have a couple fill in the blanks, and we need a couple more kids that can, that can really make a difference. Mm-hmm. And we got them. We actually got a couple more than that. So I'm pretty excited. I really am. We've got a really good team. We got a really good team.
You guys have had, you guys got a lot of talent on that team, for real.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying it because you're, co-host with me or anything
buffaloes.
like that. Right. But I mean,
I'm not a buffalo, by the way.
Oh, okay. We'll see about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, me and Ben, he done cussed me the other day.
That's worse than me saying anything about your bow fishing. I promise you.
Right, not being a buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, my children are buffaloes. Mm-hmm. I, on the other hand, am a neutral party. Mm-hmm.
Are you a neutral party?
I'm there to watch my kids.
Not Ben, he's black and gold through and through, man.
I don't even have a tag on my truck.
You got a football helmet.
Everybody I know, it's my son's football helmet. It's my son's.
Whatever, you bought that.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Please don't forget it here.
You know how when you move on, you pass down to the other kids or whatever. I'd rather just buy the next kid something new because I'm never getting rid of that helmet
Ever.
Ever.
Can't buy it off you right now for
Not
$60.
for $1 million.
$80.
You know
Not
what's
for
funny?
$1 million.
As Gavin's first football helmet, I've been hanging on to it. I keep it in his room and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then the other day, he was cleaning out some stuff out of his room. He goes, "Dad, I put some stuff out in the garage. I don't really know what to do with it. I don't want it in my room anymore. It's just kind of taking up space." I was like, "Okay." And I said, "What'd you do with it?" He said, "I got it set over on the side. Just if you want to, you can throw it away, do whatever you want to with it. I don't want any of it."
And
I
it
go
was
out
just
there,
one of those
and that damn helmet was one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Why is your football helmet out here? This is your first football helmet." He's like, "So?" It didn't mean shit to him, you know what I
Right.
mean? I'm like, "Well, I'm keeping it." So
This is mine.
So I will, pay it forward, I guess, and I'll buy somebody else. I'll buy the next kid a helmet. That's what you do, I guess. A lot of people do that.
Do they? That McAllister thing?
I don't know. I mean, they are pretty giving. And they're like, man, if you need helmets or pads or whatever, this don't fit my kid anymore. Here you go. You can have it for free. And I just don't. I can't get rid of this. I cannot do it. Can't do it.
we bought Carter his grandmother bought him a Speed Flex. He wanted one. I think he got it for his birthday. That's what he asked for his birthday. She bought him one. So that's what he's played with for. God, that thing, he's been playing with it for 3 years.
Well, I want to talk about that too, because this bar right here gets in Cason's face, his eyes. It's like right here. So he's out there having to do this all the time. It's terrible, right? So we go to Dick's, and we're gonna try on different helmets, and we tried on different helmets at practice. We got some kids that got some Zeniths, we got some others, and so
Did you go to Big Dick's or Little Dick's? Was it in Tulsa?
It was moderately big.
Is that in Tulsa?
Yeah.
That's Big Dick's.
Is it average size dicks?
It wasn't.
If you go to Muskogee, it's the Little Dick's.
Well, we were in
It
Tulsa.
ain't even open
so
anymore, Muskogee dicks.
Is it? Oh, that's
Really?
right. It's something else now. That's right.
Cut it off.
Damn.
Got that dick off.
There goes my joke. Damn it. Oh, well.
So it's Big Dick's.
I got to say it anyway.
And we go in there, and of course, we try on a couple of Shuts and a couple of the others, whatever. And then there's a Speed Flex sitting up there, right? Well, none of them. I mean, every one of them, the face mask is right here on his eyes.
Buy him a face mask.
I looked. I can't find one that would. I mean, Dick's, Big Dick's don't have face masks. You can't just buy a face mask at Big Dick. So
Well, if you're Big Dick's, you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah.
well, they don't. You are right on that. But you are right on that.
Sorry, this is the wrong time
We
for
put
that.
the Speed Flex on, right? And of course,
Fits perfectly, and he's like, I need
perfect.
this.
But it was white, so I
Paint
didn't
it.
paint it.
It's done all the time.
Well, I was like, I'll have to spend $350.
Yeah,
bucks
that's
today.
there. Now we get to the real reason.
I was like, son, you can still use this for a little while.
Now they're making them wear eye visors, or is that just what his personal preference?
Are you
No,
putting
that's his personal
You putting a
preference.
price on safety? Really? Is that really what you want to do?
And he's got a safe helmet.
$350 for the safest helmet on the market? You know what I'm saying? I mean, is there a price? Really?
No, I'm gonna buy one. But
Whenever he can't wear that one anymore.
it was white.
When he starts getting concussions.
I hope
from
you don't
having
buy
that.
one when it's too late.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it that day, and I was like, well, we'll just order one on Amazon for the next one.
Yeah, you can get black ones.
So yeah, it was perfect. He put it on. It was just like, and he was like, I could just see the look on his eyes, because he don't really get excited about like stuff like that, new stuff or whatever, But when I put that on him, and he was like,
See
this
everything.
thing. I go, so how'd that feel? He was like, that felt really good. And I was like, so was it like
really
more comfortable than your? And he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, of course it is. It's $350 or however.
They're good helmets, though, man.
360 or something. I
Carter's
forget.
had very, very, very good luck with his.
I think
For
that
real.
one was 340 because it was white. I think when you get a painted one, it's going to be more. No, the visor is personal preference, man. The first scrimmage.
They have to be clear, though, right? You can't
Yeah.
have a tinted one.
Yeah, well, we our other one of our new kids, he did have a
That's
slight.
tinted.
It's clear, actually.
Really? Looks
Yeah.
tinted.
It has a purple tint to it, but it's the Oakley Prism.
Oh.
It's the
Yeah.
I was like, hey man,
Mm-hmm.
let's try this out. But anyways, we the kid in the scrimmage put his hands right through Cason's mask,
Yeah.
and got him right in the eye, So I was like, yeah, none of that. So we're putting a face mask on, or a visor. So there we go.
That's what happened.
But I have high hopes for our team this year, and no little league team won. Third didn't win, fourth didn't win, fifth didn't win, sixth didn't win. So
Damn it.
I know it. I know.
That's unusual.
It was
man.
a bummer. And
Never mind with those high hopes. Now
Like
we're
I
back.
said,
down.
we had a
It's a damn COVID.
few turnovers. You know, we were just one turnover. If we just had one less turnover, we'd have won the game. You know, we had a couple of big fumbles, and so and that team came to McAllister in third grade. We didn't play them last year, but that team came to McAllister in third grade and stomped us. They basically owned that stadium.
Yeah.
You know, that day, because it was bad. It was a bad show, but.
Well, year to year, man, you know, as kids start to
Oh,
mature
yeah.
and that kind of thing, it's always a different deal.
But good times.
So,
Yeah.
what do you think? How do you think they're okay? I had to do a prediction.
Fearless prediction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for?
I feel like we're going to make the playoffs, and you know we
And
don't
we're not
really-
just going to stop there. Oh, sorry. Got a little excited.
I'm sure. I'm not really supposed to say that.
Throw it out there,
You know
bro.
what I mean? But
Throw it out there.
I have high hopes.
Well, if you get asked,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. All you're doing
Right.
is answering, and you didn't bring it up. Be like,
Well-
let me tell you how I think we're going to do. I think we're going to whoop everybody's ass. So,
Handily.
Yes, I think we're going to make it to the playoffs.
And that's it? Just going to make the playoffs? Deep run?
Yeah, we're going to make a deep run. We made a deep run last year, and we had way less talent than we have right now.
You're going to win it all is what you're saying. Ben Klein just said
I
winning it
did
all.
not say that.
That's
because
what I heard. You
we
made a deep run
scrimmaged
last year. You
we
got more
scrimmaged
talent
a really
this year.
good team in Tulsa a couple weeks ago, and it's going to be they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So
when you shop at Big Dick's, you're going to make a deep run. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
The only way
thing.
you can go is go deep.
It's a thing.
that is the damn truth.
People are going to
okay?
hate this.
Right?
Everybody's going to be like, are you talking about youth football or are we talking nasty? What are y'all doing here?
No.
It's like the dog gooch. You
I
know
started
what I mean?
talking about
Everybody's
youth
like, what are we
football, so I
doing?
let my son listen, and then it turned into big dicks and average dicks.
You're talking about doggy gooch and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I thought you were done with all that.
Where are we
Yeah,
going?
you should have turned it off at dog goose. You should have made it. Your kid shouldn't be to this point by now.
Exactly. Right when you
Surely you got the idea by now. Yeah.
yeah. Oh man. All right, let's move on. We talked about football. It's the beginning of football, so McAllister football is looking, good.
Hey, let's talk about the
McWilberton's
podcast.
football is looking
That's
good.
not-
We're not
No.
going to talk about the podcast.
I do want to talk about something.
This is a show.
in a minute whenever I have something that I want to get you guys' opinion on.
All right, let's talk about it now.
Let's do
I
that.
say it's average.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, that's better than usual.
I say it's slightly above average.
Normally
I'd
I
say
don't
strong.
I'm
real strong.
I'm talking. Of course, we're talking about his beard.
Normally I don't get those kind of compliments, but no, I would like to get you guys' opinion. And, I mean, it doesn't have to be a drastic opinion, and I just want to know about this instance in particular.
Okay.
Not anything, and all this other shit. What are you guys thinking about Kyle Rittenhouse in Kenosha, Wisconsin?
Gosh damn it! You did it, didn't you? You went there.
I'm not talking about all the Black Lives Matter and all
I
that.
know.
That's not, I'm talking about when you see the footage, because everybody's seen it.
I ain't
You
heard
see
about
the-
it.
Yeah. What do you think?
So you don't want to know if we think it's right or wrong. You just want to know how well I think he handled that.
Well, I want to
weapon
know.
At 17
okay,
years old.
They were talking about murder one in the beginning.
Okay, so you
And
do want to go there.
Well, it's
It
not
wasn't
gonna stick.
premeditated.
Everybody knows it's not
Yeah.
going to stick
Yeah.
on that part of it. But what I'm saying is, it's like basically, I'd like to know. Do you feel like you would have acted the same, especially at 17 years old? I mean, now this kid, he seemed a little bit afraid for his life whenever it came down to it. He's 17 years old.
Yeah.
Now he does have a rifle strapped to him, so I mean,
Here's
But he's still 17. That kid, he didn't know what he was getting into. I think going there, he's like, "Oh, I'm 17. I got this AR," feeling big and bad about himself. And he got there and he was like, "Oh crap, this is real life." And I mean, he did what I would do in that situation if I was there. No matter if I'm 17 or 38. Like, if I'm getting attacked by a group of people, I'm gonna. I would think I would. You don't know until you're in a situation. I may freeze up and get my head kicked in, and I may be dead. I don't know.
From no more of the video than I saw, that was what I was wanting to know what you guys thought about. I mean, if you're let's say for argument's sake or whatever, that he was there doing what I've been kind of led to believe, and that was he was there trying to help folks protect against some not the protest, but the rioting. You know, I mean, that was supposed to be the thing. They were guarding a gas station, I think, wasn't it, or something like that? There was a gas station in the neighborhood, and there was several guys there with guns.
It was a gas station, and I don't know. This maybe come off as maybe I'm not patriotic enough or something, but I don't know. Like, the dude was from Illinois. This is happening in Wisconsin. I know they're sister states, but man, I'm not going to Tulsa, which is in Oklahoma. I'm not definitely going to Little Rock or Fort Smith, which is Arkansas, in defending anything. I'm not. Like, I'm sorry, like, unless you are coming to me or my family, like, I don't, like, your business, that is your deal to me. I don't know. I mean, how do y'all feel about it?
No, it's kind of think is what he's asking.
Would you go to Tulsa and defend a quick trip from rioters?
I'm not defending a quick trip, no.
Me neither. I mean, it's not not my fight.
If I'm going up there to, defend, somebody's house or, somebody's family.
Or a Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, Cheesecake Factory.
I'd probably defend a Cheesecake Factory.
Are they paying me? Are they paying me the cheesecake for life?
Oh, for sure.
I'm there.
Well, that's what
talk me into.
What made me
But on a
the
serious
thing I
note,
find myself though, whenever I'm watching the video of it and kind of reading, like I said, I'm not a news watcher, so I didn't see any of this shit on the news. I think I saw it on, I saw something about it, and it's always, well, there was 3 people shot and blah blah blah, and so I see that there's a video of it, and of course, whenever if you don't have anything to do right at that moment, you're like, there's a video of this shooting? What the hell? Because a lot of times it's the aftermath. You hear, there's so many people gunned down or whatever.
It was the shooting.
Right. And so I watched the video of it, and, I went through this progression, and that's why I'm wondering what you guys thought of it, because the first time I went through it, I was like, holy shit, this dude, I didn't know his age or anything at this time. I just saw the shooting. I'm like,
I didn't know he's 17 either until after I watched it a few times.
Yeah. I was like, this dude's defending himself. Yeah. Look at this. You know what I mean?
Pretty impressive.
Well, I mean, in just from what I saw, I didn't see it in the video. I saw that the first shooting wasn't in the tape. You know what I mean? The guy runs behind him and throws the Molotov cocktail, and it misses and hits the ground. And then there's some shooting, and then it cuts to he's running down the street.
They're chasing him.
And the guy runs up behind him, and he kind of falls. The dude swings the skateboard. Bam. Then the next guy, bam. And that guy runs away yelling medic like he's in Call of Duty. Medic, medic. The guy gets shot in the arm. I'm like, what the fuck? And there's a lot of things I'm like, well, if I'm that guy and I didn't know his age, I'm thinking, well, I'm trying to defend myself. I'm thinking these people, because there's a whole group of people running behind him. I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm caught. These people are going to beat me to death like all these videos I've seen on the internet.
Mentality.
Yeah, I'm about to get, so I'm just trying to live. You know what I mean? So on that end of it, I was like, okay. But then, how you watch something like that and you're like, did I see what I thought I saw? So I go back and I watch it again. And I watch what these people are saying to him, don't point a gun at me, motherfucker. And I had this guy, this white guy talking out of his culture, and he's just running his head. And
the one that got murdered. Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. And I'm a pro-gun guy. Not all my stuff is so hard right-leaning, but that particular thing for me is I lean to the right pretty hard on when it comes to guns and shit. So I keep watching it, and then I'm like, after I watch it enough times to where I'm starting to get desensitized by watching Homeboy's bicep evaporate, because in that one shot you can see shit, You're like, damn. Well, after I kind of get used to that, then I start thinking about the situation. And I'm like, okay, this dude, why was he there? So I start reading into it. Holy shit, he's 17. And he's been there all day long cleaning. There's a picture of him cleaning off graffiti. Yay, and all this shit. Then I'm like, well, how the fuck did he go from cleaning graffiti to shooting people? What's the story, And then first thing you hear is, oh, they got him. He illegally carried a gun across state lines. And then I read, no, it was a friend's gun that's from the state, so he technically didn't bring the gun. Well, he's 17. He ain't supposed to have the damn gun in the first place. He's underage to be carrying a rifle around. So from an American's perspective, you know, like I would call myself a patriot, you know, on some level. I don't know at 17 that I would have been as patriotic as this kid. You know, was he right or was he wrong on his motivations for being there? I think his motivations probably were coming from a good place. I don't think he went up there to shoot anybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think he went up there thinking, well, if I have to, I have to. Mm-hmm. Not, you know, having never shot anybody, he or me, either one, you know, I'm sitting there, you know, if I have, you know, sometimes you got to shoot a man, you know, or whatever. And it's easy to say until you're doing it.
He found himself in a real bind, and he got his way out of it. I mean,
well, and that's why I've been back and forth on it so many times, because it's like, there's a few things about it that I'm like, well, that's true, man. He shouldn't have been doing that shit. But then I go, okay, maybe not. But in this instance, if you found yourself there, would you be able to act the way he acted? Because if I've got 30 rounds in this gun, or 3 rounds,
mag dump.
Yeah, I mean, you know, matter of fact, if there's 10 people circled around me talking all this at 17, and I'm scared, you know, shot, you know, pop, and all of a sudden, there ain't nobody trying to kill me no more.
Well, there may be a few innocent bystanders too that had nothing to do with it. Yeah.
And that's what I've noticed that too about the video. If you watch, used to, whenever you'd see these videos of people shooting people on the internet and stuff, even the person videoing, pow, 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 and the video would go to the ground because everybody runs.
Everybody's standing still.
Nobody runs
not anymore.
You know what I mean? And
they're desensitized to gun bullets. I'm telling you, I watch these videos and I don't. And almost, it's going to sound like a conspiracy theory, and I really don't mean it. They almost look fake, because I live in southeastern Oklahoma, and either if I'm on the side of the protesters, the looters, or the patriots, if I go down right now to where Cavender's and Hibbett Sports is, and I got a gosh dang AR strapped to me, and I start getting a little goofy acting, the cops are going to arrive and shoot me down in the street.
Right.
I don't understand how that is even going on. I don't understand how there are 300 people running around with, everybody says ARs. I don't care. I mean, a pistol, a rifle, AR, whatever, shotguns. There's people out there running around and stuff's getting destroyed, cars, buildings. Like, to me, it's almost like shoot on sight scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, go right now, act a fool in Walmart parking lot in McAllister, Oklahoma, and see what happens.
Right. It don't matter.
And no one here is gonna care about the cop shooting you for acting a fool in the Walmart parking lot in McAllister, Oklahoma.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And that's the difference in, you know, that's what I talk about.
But culture. This is Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Who would ever, Portland and Seattle? I've been to both places. You know, it's very liberal. I enjoyed both those cities very much. Me and my wife went. I loved both those cities. Had a great time. Met great people. Still got friends on Facebook that live in both places. Like, I don't understand how this happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's a crazy. Well, you know, like I saw Donald Trump getting this thing, and I'm not. This is going to sound anti-Trump, and it's not. But because I'm not really either way on him, but. He's the president, no matter what you want to say. But when I watch him give a speech, sometimes he's kind of hard for me to watch, because when he gets off the teleprompter and he starts saying things, and I'm just like, just read the shit that's on the screen. You know what I mean? Don't say people were there in a quarter of a second and shit like that. You know what I mean? Don't use those terms. But anyways, you know, he was saying basically things like, I've offered help. If they want, we'll have the National Guard there in minutes. But when I call them, they tell me they don't want my help. So I don't help. And, you know, that's really and truly, to the guy's credit, that's a president trying to let a state govern itself like they're supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, now, there comes a point where it's like a public health thing or whatever, but, you know, these governors are pushing back real hard. And anywhere where governors are doing that shit, that's why Wisconsin's the way it is. Because there's nobody going to roll up on those people, and they know it now. They know they've got this Democrat governor who's not going to allow anybody to come in there and stop it. They want them to be able to protest, which I'm fine with. I'm okay with protesting. But they're also not going to stop them from rioting. They're not going to stop them from looting or any of those things like that. So once those people know that, then all hell can break loose, and they know nobody's going to do anything. That's why everybody can run around with guns in their hands, and nobody's going to do anything.
I'm not going to mention no names, because me and some buddies been talking about it, and they probably don't want their name attached to it. It's almost like these kids, I say kids, they're young, mostly younger, in their 20s and stuff, out either protesting or being patriots. They're all essentially out there LARPing. They don't think they can get shot and killed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got a force field around me. Your bullets can't penetrate me. It is a bunch of kids running around that don't understand the consequences, I don't think.
Well, you see these videos of people in Portland and different places, and I was watching a video earlier that the Hodge twins were talking about, and it was these people were on a freeway protesting in the middle of the freeway, and whenever the highway patrol shows up, this ain't the cops, this is the highway patrol, the state police or whatever, show up, and they start they're like, you guys moving along, you know. Well, the driver is like, talking shit to these guys. Well, you know how the state trooper guys are, you know what I mean? I mean, they're
a little more tight.
Well, I mean,
breed.
and they have to be. The shit they're dealing with is on another level. You know what I mean? Think about what you know about being out on the road. We've all been out on the road, and no matter what state you're in, it's a different world. You know what I mean? Truckers and everybody knows it's a different. You're out on the road. That's the road, so it's different shit. These guys are wired tight.
Yeah.
You know, so they get this guy out of the car, and they're not trying to kill him or nothing like that, but there are three of them have a hold of him, and he's fighting him and shit. And the women all get out of the car, and they're like, "Why are you trying to arrest him?" Blah blah blah. And they're in these people's face, in these state police face, screaming at him, right? While they're trying to arrest this guy, and this guy's resisting, like, and this lady's like, "I'm a member of the press," and and of course now the highway patrol's ready for that kind of bullshit. Whenever somebody's throwing shit at him, and this dude was not fooled at all. He's like, well, if you are a member of the press, you can talk to me after we have this man apprehended, and I'll give you a full report on what's going on. Right now, we're busy.
Yeah.
And this bitch she wasn't in anything.
Yeah.
She had an iPhone standing there saying, I'm a member of the press. You know what I mean?
Everybody's a member of the press.
And she's wearing a fucking BLM shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, no, you're not. You're just saying that shit so you won't get your phone slapped out of your hand. You know what I mean? So you can try to sue this motherfucker later or whatever. So I'm sitting there watching this shit, and I'm thinking, and I hate to be old school, but I don't know how else to say it. I can't imagine trying to be a highway patrol in that environment. I mean, can you imagine the amount of restraint it takes not to punch these fucking people? I mean,
Yes.
you're out here, you're literally risking your life for these people that are
Right.
standing in your face screaming about you trying to break up their protest in the middle of a freeway, like a 6-lane big ass freeway.
People trying to get to work, get home to their families after that work.
Yeah, and these guys are trying to keep the peace, maintain flow of traffic, keep people from getting run over, keep these fucking people from getting run over while they're out here, They're basically trying to put a peaceful end to this, as peaceful as they can into this, and all these people can do is scream and call them names. I'm talking about, bad shit, saying some terms I'm not going to use, you know what I mean? I know I've said this, they ain't just curse words. I'm talking about ethnic slurs and a whole lot of other shit. And, dude, and it's all breaks down to, I can't imagine. That's why they're not going to come here. You know what I mean? That's why I laugh whenever I hear people like, oh, don't worry, rural America, we're coming there next. I'm like, Antifa, we don't do shit here like they do out there. You know what I mean? We don't.
We're not LARPing.
You're not going to get to do that. You know what I mean? I know people here. I've lived here all my life.
Wisconsin's pretty rural, actually. Like, I got a bunch of buddies at Bowfish up there, and they're
Right.
redneck, go-getter, hunting and fishing, this and that. And we kind of touched base on it, I think, that last time I was on, about this generation. Like, we grew up in southeastern Oklahoma, and you had a pecking order. And you found out real quick where you're on that pecking order. Like, okay, I know where I'm at, where I stand.
Yeah.
And you were getting checked, you were getting tested every day, if not every day, every week. Someone was wanting to see if they could go up past you on that pecking order or where you're at. How much will this guy take? Can I bully him? Will he stand up? If he's going to stand up, if I'm going to have to fight him every time, I'm not going to mess with him. I'll find another target. And I'm thinking it's this younger generation who's never had that kind of contact of, testing their manhood or their womanhood or this and that. And they think, I can get away and do whatever I want. I'm telling you right now, like the coast, they're supposed to be more advanced than us. We're supposed to be redneck, southeast Oklahoma, hillbillies. You don't see that happening here.
Right.
Because there's a respect thing. Because everybody knows here, if you step out of line and you act crazy, no matter what race, political affiliation you're going to get checked.
Yeah.
And I think there's a respect around here for that.
Yeah.
And those people out there, they don't respect each other. I think they're more backwards than we are.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot of hate shit, like I've heard people that are comparing like the Black Lives Matter folks to like KKK, in that they're a hate group. You know what I mean? I've heard that, and I haven't looked them up enough to know one way or another. I mean, I can't say that's my opinion on them, because I don't waste a whole lot of my energy. I only get to live on this earth one time, so unless they come to my state, honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't give a shit.
And it's hard to decipher what you read. Apparently BLM was like created by, some people that, if you're going to have an agenda, everybody can get behind BLM, because, hey, if you're not for racism, or how could you be for racism? If you're not for BLM, you're for racism. And then you read that, it's just a front for socialism, trying to push socialism you don't like. And you're like, well, what do you believe? And then you see that Kyle kid you're talking about. Was he a patriot or was he Antifa? I mean, you read both sides of it and you don't know because you're not there seeing it.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, we could all be, like people could be praising him. I'm not saying I'm praising him, but people can be praising him, and he could be Antifa. He could be there trying to cause the riots and cause the chaos. And BLM's trying to peacefully protest. You don't know because you read either side and you don't know what real news you're getting.
Yeah. And that's
why I don't read it.
Well, that's why my initial thing was to get you guys' take on just the situation.
My take is I know that I know there's 18-year-olds that have enlisted and they go straight to war and they're in the deep end. They're in the bad stuff, in the shit. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I see the 17-year-old kid walking the streets with an AR, and I honestly, my first reaction was, well, why is this kid's parents?
Well, my son would not be walking
letting
around with
him
an
walk
AR-15.
the street with an AR-15. I mean, I don't appreciate that. You know what I mean? Now, as far as him, this is about as deep as I've gotten into it too, right here. I mean, I watched the video, and that's as much as I've went into it. I've seen the pictures of him cleaning the stuff or whatever, and but I haven't read really anything about it because I'm kind of one of those guys, and I've told you before, I'm kind of one of those guys. When this kid's in court, maybe then I'll start listening to facts. But right now, dude, it's like you said, it's all over the place. You don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be like either martyr or a role model for like a certain group, no matter what side you're on, you better make sure you never did nothing, because if now you ever make the news, people are finding stuff about you from years ago. I seen a video the other day, him fighting a girl, like
This
a video.
kid?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just like,
see, I didn't know anything about that, but what I do know is he did an excellent job of defending himself.
yeah.
Well, and that I feel like
He
no
had-
matter what his motivation was,
Yeah.
he was about to get his ass whooped, if not maimed or killed.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. You don't. I mean, you guys have been around skateboards. My kids skated a lot when they were younger, so I've seen them take.
It's a weapon. I don't care
Fucking,
what you
that's
say.
that's a piece of wood, dude. It's a very hard board.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you could hurt
And
somebody
and
real.
people
But
go,
if-
oh, he's unarmed. No. He had a skateboard.
Yeah.
It might as well
and-
be a baseball bat.
Right.
And I'm going back to it now. We're getting so desensitized to it. You think about it. This guy defended himself with an AR in the middle of Wisconsin against other people armed with guns. Like, this is happening. This is mind-boggling to me. I couldn't picture this happening where we live.
No, I couldn't
I
either.
couldn't imagine going down to the store to get some gas and that stuff breaks out. Like, well, we got to defend this gas station because these people are coming to burn it down. Like, I mean, and
It's Armageddon.
and everybody's
That's-
got guns. Like, here we see people walking around with guns because you got open carry, this and that. It ain't no big deal. But can you imagine just everybody with guns loaded to the hilt on edge, waiting for it to break out?
Yeah, I'm glad it's not here. You know what I mean? I'm glad that for
Well, it's
whatever
in our
reason.
country.
Well, I mean, be it the culture, be it whatever. I feel like in a way we kind of get to go about our lives, even with COVID. If you think about it, man, we don't have it as bad as a lot of places do here.
We're sheltered.
You know what I mean? And I mean, honestly, when I think about, I'm glad I've had my times where I'm like, mainly it's the weather. You know, I'm like, fuck, I fucking hate the weather in Oklahoma. I'm tired of the heat. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you flipped the script because we've talked about this before, and you were.
Well,
like,
but what I think
I
about,
wouldn't mind living in Washington,
and I wouldn't mind living other places.
He was just in Wisconsin too.
Yeah.
Hey, I actually like the country up there, the countryside. You know what I mean? The way it's kind of, you know, I don't like Illinois and up through there. Not
Go ahead,
I
I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Well, the only point I was making was, it's like
You're glad you live in Oklahoma right now.
Well, the culture here is such where we're still very much like what you would consider old school America. You know what I mean? And not to say redneck. I'm talking about like we're principle driven by and large. Of course, you got, you know, differences, but by and large, everybody's principle driven. Like you said, you grow up in a system where everybody kind of understands where they're at. You know, it's maybe unspoken, but it's not hard to figure out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you don't figure it out, somebody will figure it out for you, you know, one way or another. So that on that part, I feel lucky. I feel lucky that that my 17-year-old son, which he's 18 now, but I couldn't imagine. You know what I mean? I mean, could you imagine watching your son out there standing in the street with a gun strapped on his back?
That's what I was looking at. I was like, man, I mean, I know back in the day, and I know 17-year-olds, you know, I know like back in the day when, you know, we were fighting the British and all that. I know there was a lot of kids that were carrying weapons. I know there's a lot of kids that's killing people.
Signed
I
up
know
early
there's a
for
lot
World
of
War
kids
II,
even since then that's been in the war. Yeah, World War II, Korean War. And I'm sure there's kids that still are, you know, every day, maybe, you know, in different cities or whatever, having to defend themselves and whatever. But I can't imagine, you know, my 17-year-old son, you know, having to be in there. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't let that
How does
happen.
your 17-year-old son even get out of your sight to go to
And
another state?
I hate to even say that because there may be more to the story we don't know.
Well, and I'm taking. That's why I say political affiliation and all that out.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm
you
just
know,
saying maybe
It's a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
They had to kill 2 people and shoot another one.
Yeah.
Because he was about to get killed.
Dude, he handled that weapon well.
Oh, yeah.
He handled that whole situation. You know, whether he's wrong or right, I'm not talking about, you know.
Well, what you like to see, though,
I feel like, without knowing any of the backstory, I feel like he was in the right.
well, yeah, you watch him. You watch the whole video. He's trying to get away the entire time.
Yeah, and I haven't even watched the whole video.
The whole time. Okay, when the guy hits him with the skateboard, he rolls over and shoots that guy. And then whenever he's trying to get up, the guy with the pistol's standing there by him, and he shoots him in the arm.
Yeah.
And this guy runs away, medic, and he's standing there, and he burns the rest of that mag in the ground, trying to make everybody run away. I thought at the first he was shooting at everybody.
Oh, I did too.
I thought if I was him, if I just shot 2 people and I thought, you know, whether they're dead or not, I just had to, and that guy had a pistol that just ran off, I don't know if I wouldn't have knocked a few others down, you know, because I'm thinking these guys are going to chase me to death, maybe.
I at least would have saved some.
Yeah,
Just for,
and all he did was shot all them bullets and then turned around and started running towards the cops again with his hand, you know, and once he gets too close to the cops, what does he do?
Puts the gun behind his back.
Yeah, and he's got them hands high. Don't shoot me, please. I am not touching my gun, you know what I mean? And he ain't going to lay the motherfucker down because he don't want somebody to pick it up.
Right.
That's, you talk about forethought.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you look at this situation, and sure, there's a shitload of things about it that are uncomfortable, and they're like, damn, maybe he shouldn't have been there, or maybe it shouldn't have went down like this, or whatever. But when you look at it just from, let's say, a tactical standpoint or whatever, this fucking kid had his shit wired up.
Yeah,
you know
he
what I
did.
mean?
He didn't take out one innocent bystander.
No. You know, and I mean, you watch him roll when he rolls over and shoots that guy. I mean, it was almost practiced. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not saying he went around trained. I'm just saying.
Well, he probably did train for that.
Well,
He probably did train.
There's 100
He definitely
scenarios.
has trained with that weapon.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt about it. The way he handled it.
Yeah, there's 100 scenarios where there's some, like a kid shot or some innocent bystanders. He's like, nope, everybody who I got into it with.
Yeah, it would have been easy when he rolled over to shoot his own foot or his
Yeah.
own leg.
Think about this. It's a bad throw that you didn't hear about a young man burning to death in Kenosha, Wisconsin, because somebody threw a fucking Molotov cocktail on his back.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what that guy intended to do, burn him to death.
Oh, yeah.
Did they catch that guy?
It's the one he shot in the head.
He's the one that died, the first one.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I watched that. That's in the video that I watched where you
I
see
didn't
it.
see
It's clear as fucking day. He throws it, and it hits the ground out here beside him as he's going around a vehicle like that.
And then the guy charges him, and he gets
Yeah.
close and shoots him. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So the guy threw the cocktail, then he charged the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And think about this, dude.
I didn't see that part though.
If all you've ever done is play Call of Duty in your life, you know what those things do.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're meant to burn you to death.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. You know what I mean? So if that dude, think about this, if that dude's going to do that, he's about to do something bad to you if you ain't going to put your money where your mouth
If
is.
he's going to do that, if he throws that, you turn around and shoot him.
Right.
Period.
But but this kid even still is still retreating.
Right.
He's trying. He don't want to shoot nobody. You can tell. Now he might have thought if these motherfuckers until it's the shit's going down. And he's thinking, well, I don't want to go to prison for the rest of my life. And then all of a sudden he's jammed up against the wall. Well, fuck, I've got to protect myself.
I don't think he wanted to go that way because since he shot that first guy, he got on the phone like, "Oh, dude, I killed somebody." Like, what? I mean, this got serious all of a sudden. And that's one of those deals. You put yourself in that situation, man. It's like you can't put yourself in those situations and think, you're going to do good. You're not.
For defending your country or defending your whatever, man, it's hard to say. I don't know.
Well, you got to
It's
think
hard
about
to
it.
say.
And
I would not let my 17-year-old son do that. No.
Well,
But
you and I both have talked about this before, and Trent, I'll throw this at you and see what you say. This day and age, in the country we live in right now, as it stands, how many people do you know who? Okay, there's plenty of people who are unhappy with the way things are, but think about the sacrifice that you are making whenever you choose to take up arms. Let everybody, I hear all these people throwing around Civil War like it's just, like almost with anticipation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what you're basically doing, what that kid basically did was he took whatever life he had and he threw it into that situation.
Oh, yeah.
Because whenever you do that, you are potentially trading in your life, for that situation. So that's why, they used to a long time ago, they had assassinations and, people were willing to die.
Yeah.
Because they hated shit so bad in this country. But you don't have that anymore. You know what I mean? Now everybody hate CNN or we hate Fox News, but nobody's, it takes somebody really believing with everything they have in some form of change to want to throw away everything you got. You know what I mean? You can't even make somebody lay down their cell phone for 5 minutes, much less take up arms and protect something that they care about.
Yep, I agree.
It's a huge
Definitely brave.
sacrifice.
For
Definitely
me,
brave.
I'm just being 100% honest right now. It would take my family being in immediate danger, like
Right.
people coming to my town to cause gravely harm to my family before I did anything.
Yeah.
I love the state of Oklahoma. I love everything. But if they were in Tulsa and Oklahoma City and burning it, I would say, man, I hope they don't work their way down here.
Yeah. And that's very valid point.
Because, like I said, if I go up there and put myself in that situation, and if I throw myself into that equation, what's my family going to do if I get up there and get shot and get killed?
Very true.
Or you go, let's say you go to, because our justice system is not perfect. You get your day in court and they decide that you put yourself in that spot on purpose. So we need to put you in prison. So then now not only are you alive to see how your family lives without you, you're fucking stuck in prison.
And you can't take care of them when the world's burning.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm curious to how this is going to play out with him. I'm wondering if they're going to make him make him an example, and ruin his life.
I don't know. I hope not. You know what I mean? From what I saw,
Right.
even though the motive
Shouldn't have been there.
Well, I mean, the initial motive might have been something more sinister. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for this kid,
Right.
but I mean, the tactical or what the actions that happened in that situation.
Pretty impressive.
Come on, man. I mean, what red-blooded American man is not going to do that?
right.
You know what I mean? In that once you're in it.
Yeah. Right.
How many men in his place have froze and died instead? And people get him down and beat him to death.
That's a 17-year-old kid.
Well, that skateboard hits his head. He's done.
Them trucks, dude. Heck yeah. I mean, you hit and that
done.
it wasn't the board side. It was the truck side. It was going to be nasty.
Oh, this kid
Yeah.
made
And then,
them get him
like I
down.
said, I don't care what that guy says. You come up with a pistol pulled on a guy. You either had bad intentions or you had a bad idea. Like if you're running up on someone with a pistol drawn, you got to realize I'm either going to shoot this guy or he's going to shoot me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know that kid or the guy with the pistol is within arm's reach.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, what were you gonna do? Did you think you were gonna say, "Motherfucker, stay down"? You know what I mean? Because I am thinking, if I'm in the mob side of this, and I hate that, I feel like I'm about to do something to this guy.
I'm shooting from a distance.
Yeah, I'm not going to walk up, number one, where he could get a hold of it. You know what I mean? So on that side of it, the kid has the advantage, even scared, because
he's got an AR-15.
Well, he don't lose his head.
No.
Right.
I mean,
no.
Wyatt Earp, I've read all kind of shit. I used to be, obsessed with the Old West.
He's
know
a
what I mean?
cowboy.
Well, and that's what Wyatt Earp always said was, people would be like, you've cleaned up all these towns, you've won all these gunfights, what's the secret to winning? Is it the fast gun? He's like, hell no. He's like, I'm not a quick draw. Somebody with a quick draw is an idiot. He's like, but whenever it comes time to shoot, I don't worry about getting shot.
Yeah.
I worry about shooting what I'm shooting at. You know what I mean? And that having that cool head is what saved this kid, even though he's scared. Because you can tell, man. I mean, who ain't gonna be scared in that instance? Who's
Right.
not?
Oh, dude, he was never so happy to see those cops. He's like, I
Hell
can't get
yeah.
there fast enough, baby.
Well, that's like I always go back to that video in my head. The first thing I do is I saw this video of this kid, or he's a grown man. He's an overweight guy that looks like, I think he's like a deputy or something like that. And he's got this guy stopped. It's a traffic stop. He's behind him, and the lights are on him, and he's got this guy up against the trunk of the car. And he's like, it's not funny. It's just you have to see the video to see what I'm talking about. But he walks up to him and he's like, all right, put your hands behind your back. And the guy's like, I'm not doing that. And he goes, put your hands behind your back. Well, this guy turns around with a gun. He had a fucking gun hid in his pants. He turns around, this guy. Well, whenever the sheriff or the deputy or whatever he was saw it, he goes, he like screaming, and he's going pow, 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 and he's running in a circle
Shooting.
away from this guy.
Yeah.
He does not bear down on him or anything. He just runs in a circle and shooting pow, 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 and this guy shoots the guy, I think once or twice or something like that, but he doesn't kill him. And
I've seen the video.
Yeah, and the guy like gets in his vehicle and drives away or something. I can't remember exactly how it happened. But think about how that's the way that you would, if I was writing this out as a movie script, that's how I would have this kid react.
Right.
It was like, run in a circle and not hit shit.
Yeah.
But this kid was like cool under pressure, I guess you would say, or whatever.
I got to remove myself from the situation, so I'm going to run out of it. Running out of it, they caught up to me. They're attacking me.
Yeah.
Shoot. Hit no one else somehow. Very controlled. Alleviate that situation. Keep on, progressing this way. But yeah, it's crazy.
With the video, I mean,
it's like it's scripted.
Yeah, because anybody looking at that, there's going to be plenty of people out there that are going to look at it that are, let's say they're maybe anti-gun or something like that, and they're going to say, well, there's a million reasons he shouldn't have shot somebody. Why did he shoot him in the leg? Or what? There's plenty of things you could say like that, but anybody that is just open-mindedly looking at this situation is going to go,
He had no choice.
holy shit.
He shot that first guy, and the guy's buddies or his fellow protesters, they ran up to help that guy, and that guy didn't bother them. He's like, they're not a threat. I'm just remove myself from this. Normally, you shoot that first guy, you see two more run up, you're like,
Right.
Yeah,
you
if he'd have dropped 12 of them standing there,
Yeah.
you'd been like, this fucking kid is off his rocker. He's out here just wanting to kill people. But whenever he's only shooting people that are, one's trying to burn him to death, and the other ones he thinks going to beat him to death, and the whole time he's fleeing, every time he gets a chance, he's getting up and running away from them. You know what I mean? And these motherfuckers are chasing him down. Because I know what they're thinking. They're thinking, well, he's scared, and I'm about to beat the fuck out of him. You know?
yeah.
And he was scared. I got no doubt about it. You can tell by the way his
eyes
running.
were open. Yeah.
He's very scared, and he should have been scared, but not scared to where he couldn't act.
Handle
you know?
it. Yeah.
He did a
And
great
these
job.
fucking kids, these people that were chasing him, I'm sure were counting on the fact that, well, there's 20 of us chasing this guy. We about to fuck him up, And so that was something that there's so many levels to it. But throwing the political shit aside and just putting it, I was just curious now I know that we're all pretty close on that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a little heated for me, man, but
No.
it's something I've been walking around with for like 2 weeks.
I
you know,
like how we got by with mostly nothing COVID or political. Then he throws that gosh damn one.
Yeah, I know.
well, it wasn't. I didn't want it to be political. It was more.
Well, we
of
didn't get really political. We're talking
That's what I'm
about
saying.
the
We
situation
skipped all the
itself.
political stuff,
Yeah.
all the COVID, basically. We talked about some quarantines about it, and then LJ's like, let me just dial one up here real quick. Let me see,
Well, it wasn't
let me
really
see how I can
political, though.
alienate half of the listeners here.
I don't think it was political. I don't think we really got political with it. It was.
And you should post this question on the group after the podcast. What are your thoughts on it?
No, because I know how everybody in there thinks.
Well,
I did notice James Hardy
And
he had this post, and he had a guy attack him saying it was murder, yada yada yada. And it got pretty heated.
Well, and you're gonna, you know, and
Well, James Hardy said, "Hey man, I think it's self-defense basically," and this guy was like, "Well, you're wrong."
yeah, you're gonna have that, dude. I mean,
I say either way. If you're up there, if you're riding, I ain't gonna say protesters because let's just say riders and protesters are two totally different things. You got your peaceful protesters and your riders. If you're up there riding, if you're up there defending these public buildings and stuff like that, and you're both armed, you have got to accept the consequences.
yeah,
That's what it is. You can't play the victim when it doesn't go your way.
yeah, you better damn well know. I mean, I know I wouldn't leave my house with a gun strapped on me unless I was fully prepared to pay the price of having to actually use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you're not going to be ready for what that means, or you might not. Fully
You don't know how you're going to
comprehend.
act when it happens. You may think I'm fully ready, mentally worked up for it. My heart's on my sleeve here, and you get there and you freeze up, and it's over.
That deer hunting is a perfect example, dude. You always think you know. I'm always envisioning, you know, anytime when I hunted a lot when I was young, I would always think, okay, I know I could just see him in my mind. He's gonna come from here, you know what I mean? When he gets to right here in this clearing, I'm gonna shoot him, and then inevitably this fucking thing would come from behind me,
Right.
on my left side,
throw you for a loop.
I mean, on my right, you know what I mean, underneath and through brush and all this shit. So it's never turns out like you plan it out in your head or whatever. And you don't think about the fact that I would get really bad buck fever, you know, and I'd be trying to shoot and I can't even breathe straight.
Let's talk about the video, the corner store that was posted in the Facebook group by me of 3 individuals fighting Simple Simons
Two like
gas station.
colored hair girls against one dark haired lady was what the fight was, right?
Was it even in the paper? Now, you've done some research. Most of you have seen the video, I'm sure. If you haven't seen the video,
Go to the I don't
at this
drink coffee.
time, it's got like 556 shares, I believe. At the last time I looked at it, which it's been a while, 556 shares, and it's in the I Don't Drink Coffee podcast group.
On Facebook.
And you don't have to go there to watch it. You can go to someone else who shared it and watch it there. But if you want to, you know, get a fast track to the video, go to the I Don't Drink Coffee podcast group and join while you're there. But you can see the video there. It's of 3 individuals fighting in Simple Simons.
2 against 1.
2 against 1.
Oh, I gotta say, I want to say this shit. The funniest thing about it is that it's utter chaos.
It is utter chaos.
The entire fight is the most chaotic, drawn out dumpster fire of a fight I have ever seen in my life. Of all the videos of fights I've ever seen, I've never seen anything like it.
And it happened right here
In McAllister.
in McAllister.
Simple Simons.
Right by.
Is that Maine and Washington?
It's on Main Street. Yeah, South Main.
Yeah, and South Street.
South Street, yeah.
And so,
Dude.
to me, the best part of it, just because living in southeastern Oklahoma, there's always that one little Debbie rack by the front counter. And when that was utilized as a weapon, very weakly, that tickled me so very much.
That was your favorite part
That's
about
my
it?
favorite part. That or when the one individual had the other individual by the hair and it looked like a National Geographic like video of like chimpanzees pulling ticks out of the other one.
Yeah.
Because just had a hold of the hair and basically was doing nothing else. It It wasn't like even an aggressive like curl
Right.
that hair up in a fist.
It's just a hold.
Just a hold. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, she's pulling ticks off of her.
Yeah, and one guy commented on there. He goes, "I could have swore he took your screenshot, and he goes, I could have swore at this time they were going to start making out." Dude, I laughed so freaking hard because I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and here's the thing about I'm kind of being, I guess, I don't know. I'm just trying to be nice, really, but I feel bad for these people. I feel bad for all three of them.
Why?
I don't know. I don't.
I really don't feel bad for them.
I don't. But man,
They're there for my entertainment in this instance. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
That's why I posted the video
I
because
just want to say a PSA. It is your duty as a citizen, not only of this country, but of this state and this city, in this Pittsburgh County, carry yourself in public a little bit better.
well,
make an attempt.
we just want to talk about the fight itself, and of course, your favorite part was my favorite part. And
Well, the thing that sets that up to me is the play-by-play you're getting from the lady that's getting attacked by the other two, because she's giving a constant, you know, she's like, keep pulling my hair, bitch.
right,
You know,
Yeah.
keep
I
doing this,
dare you.
bitch. Keep doing this, and I'm just like, why do you keep saying what they're doing? You know what I mean? I couldn't get over that part, but whenever it's kind of starting to break up,
It is a very funny. It is a very funny fight. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to watch it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. But
yeah,
go
'cause
ahead.
when that 12-pack, that lady standing there and that 12-pack goes flying through there, and it out of the camera. I mean, it's off camera. She's off camera. She thought it just comes flying into frame, goes past, and that other girl standing there, and she just goes and knocks the holy shit out of the other one.
Well, it wasn't
That
the
didn't even
12 pack.
throw
It was the
anything.
white thing.
Well, I thought it was the 12
No,
pack.
the 12 pack
that's
was
right, that's
in
right.
camera.
I'm sorry.
The 12 pack
sorry.
was in
That's
camera
right.
of
I will say-
Coca-Cola, right? Was it Coke?
Yeah, I think maybe the is the same one that got hit. You're alluding to there was the one I saw just holding the hair.
Yeah.
I will say that individual can take a heck of a punch.
Yeah.
Dude.
I don't know.
Just wore
Yes.
it.
Yeah, man, for real. The white, I don't know if it was it a little Debbie or was it a little, I don't know. It was a little container of something, it seemed, but it came from out of the picture, as you said, and hit the one girl in the face, and she took that aggression that she had from that hitting her in the
To
face
the nearest person.
to the nearest, out on the nearest person. And,
We're going to say it's a honey bun. I want to believe she threw a honey bun at her.
dude, she smoked
Hit her so hard.
so hard.
And that person showed no aggression. Got hit. It's like, okay.
I know.
She just
Okay.
standing there.
You know, I know it. I know it, dude.
I'm just so
It's
thankful that wasn't like a samurai sword store. Like,
Yeah, really.
Thank goodness there's little Debbie's and
Anything,
Slim
yeah.
Jims.
It's an awesome video. You guys got to go watch it.
How about the individual that had to clean up the mess after that? Like, man, my job sucks today.
Well, it may have been her because she worked there.
Oh yeah, she was on duty.
Yeah,
wasn't
she worked there, I believe. I believe.
Yeah,
Now,
she did.
For
The
not
slowest fight I have ever seen in its entirety.
Yeah.
The one girl,
I agree.
the one lady or individual fighting as a solo nation was in it for the long haul.
she was all about. Yeah, she was like, I'm not going anywhere.
And the other individual, the blonde one, she was she was a hard driver too. She was
Yeah,
there.
she was.
The other one was kind of like, man, like I'm here. I don't really. The one that got hit.
Yeah, she was like,
I'm here, but I don't
yeah.
really know what to do.
I don't really want to. I really don't want to be here.
Yeah.
you know. But I'm kind of. Yeah.
I'm in the situation.
Right. And so,
Is Lucas watching the video now?
I'm trying to find it. I can't find the damn thing.
but like I said,
Missed opportunity.
it was a missed opportunity. You know, she could have probably got a little edge right there. She needed something because what happened right after that was not good for her.
Another missed opportunity is I've been in that store, and right there where they're fighting, there are some wine bottles for sale. And if you're going to throw a projectile through the air, that might have been the hot setup.
Well, I'm glad that nothing other than the Coke, 24 pack or 12 pack, other than that getting thrown because that's kind of dangerous, or that could have been dangerous. Nothing really other than that was anything dangerous other than the punch. That was pretty dangerous.
If that little Debbie rack would have came falling over on you, son, gee, diabetes.
If she had at least picked it up, but she just like rolled it over on its side. You know what I mean? It was half-hearted. You know, just like almost like she was just pissed off. Like, oh fuck.
I think everybody was just at that point basically trying to find it out. Like, all right, we don't know how long they fought before the camera came on, and I just want to give a big shout out. Like the same thing we was talking about with Kenosha. And that Simple Simons, these individuals who think to get their cameras out, that is not me. I get lost in the moment, and I'm just watching. Never once think to reach for my phone.
I would have definitely videoed that one.
I need to get better at that.
It's something I've never seen before, dude. I want to know.
Okay, so.
Oh, and in the part where she looks like she's gonna bash her with the scanner.
Yes, but it's connected.
Oh yeah, she grabbed it.
She's like, shit. There's not enough.
Has
a
cable on it.
I need more leeway. You know,
and that was just gonna make her mad if she'd have hit her with that thing.
Oh yeah,
that was just gonna make her even more mad than what she was
said.
Already.
Keep pulling my fucking hair.
Yeah.
Everything they did. Keep on. Oh God, and then she gets. Dude, she's had enough of that hair pulling, so she goes to whooping that ass.
Yeah.
Both of them's ass. You know, and I have to admit, they're both on her at one time. She's getting her hair pulled a bunch and shit, and they kind of banging her off the fucking pizza rack and everything. But here in a minute, they back off. The biggest fucking mistake is they back off and get on reach. She slapped the shit out of that one. There's another slap, a third, there's a punch. Now, and here comes the little Debbie rack.
When they let her off the ground.
No, they fucked up because they had her in a pretty good spot.
Yes.
And then then they start standing up and they stop fighting. You know what I mean? I mean, they're not even doing anything. They're just like standing there. And so she's taking full advantage, man. I mean,
is one of those girls barefoot?
I think they were both barefoot.
I think any fight video you see from southeastern Oklahoma, there's always one female barefoot.
Oh, they always take their shoes off. You know, they always get their shoes off and then they get
more traction.
Yeah.
These chicks are always either fighting in Uggs or flip-flops around here.
Hang on.
Any bare feet over there you see?
I can't see their feet, man. What the fuck did she throw? I think it looks like maybe like cups.
It was
like styrofoam cups. It's something very light.
It was,
I'm talking about like it's like plastic lids for you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like a stack of plastic lids.
Man, we're in the heat of the moment, whatever's handy, you know.
And she punched the shit out of the other one.
Yes, she did.
There goes the little Debbie rack.
If one of those pizzas were fresh out the oven, can you imagine getting one of those pressed against the side of your face?
Well,
the hot cheese.
You saw the pizza slap, right?
You know,
the video that I posted in the Facebook group. The dude walked up to the other kid, slapped him with a piece of pizza. He paid the price.
Yeah, why?
You slapped my face with pizza.
Hell yeah!
I would rather you punch me than slap me with some pizza.
Yeah.
Did you ever get that pizza on the roof of your mouth and it burns?
Oh my God, man! I want to know. You know what, man? What shithead? What complete asshole walks out as they've been fighting this whole time through the whole store? Has already tipped over the little Debbie rack, everything, all this shit. And as she walks out
and leaves the other one with her
and drags the deal of fucking hand sanitizer, the box off in the floor as she's walking out. Why would you do that of all the things?
The thing is she just did all that and then leaves the other one in there.
Yeah.
Just rolls out.
You gotta show your ass on the way out. I'm sure she didn't kick the door open.
Yeah.
She left the other one by herself though.
Yeah, that one was already like out on like what's that word?
Leave no one behind, right?
Well, she was actively punching the other one, and this bitch is like, yeah, well, fuck you anyway, and like grabs Dylan, and like it's over with, and they're still swinging.
Yeah.
And she just walks out the door after she jerks that shit off the counter. Like she's had it. She takes none of the beating. She actually.
It's so crazy how
the blonde got off scot-free.
Yeah, she didn't take any beating at all.
A little bit of a headlock is all she got.
Well, she had her twerk too. I mean, she was. It sounded like she was gasping for air there but I even think that she let up on purpose because she had her.
Big girl could have hurt her bad. For real.
I really think she let her up.
Well,
because why else would you? I mean, she had her.
And her girlfriend had the big girl, like, you know how whenever girls get real drunk and they can't hold their head, and you
Right.
know,
It was
hold
like
them-
we just said.
yeah, and she just sitting there
so,
holding her.
it was so lightly.
Hey, and it's all fun and games, dude, until she rolls it over and pulls
Yeah.
it tight, and this bitch turned around and came uncorked.
Hey, dude, when I first watched that video when Ben sent it to us before he put on the deal, I had to watch it a couple times because I didn't know the girl that had a hold of the hair. I didn't know what side she was on. I didn't know what she was doing. I was like, well, she's not actively trying to hurt that girl.
Right. Yeah.
But she's not actually helping her either.
But then she started getting her butt kicked.
I think the one who took the brunt of the beating,
Yeah.
I think that she was there in support of the other one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
And the
think
other
she
one
was-
left her high and
I think
dry.
so,
Yeah,
too.
she's like, well, you're the badass. Come with me and back me up because I'm about to fuck this bitch up, you know? And then she gets in there and doesn't do anything.
No,
and the
man.
other one's the one that takes the beating. You know what I mean?
She even from across the room throws.
That's the best. Because she's sitting there and it goes, it doesn't even hurt her. It doesn't do anything to her. It goes,
Yeah.
she goes, bam!
I mean, reminds me of like Day on Friday when he comes back in there after that old girl chased him around. Why are you going to stand there and not even do nothing? That was a conversation when they left the store. She was asking for, you stand there and not even do nothing. You know, she watched that video. They saw it on Facebook and she goes, what were you doing? Like, I'm getting choked out. My soul is leaving my body and you were holding her head up by her hair.
Well, you know, before they saw the video, they both got in their vehicle and drove away. It was like, we whipped that bitch's ass. And they are dead wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Because that woman beat the shit out of one of them, and the other one had, you know, I mean, she won.
Yeah.
Big girl won, period. I mean, to me, that's the verdict.
Well, I hope that they're all getting along now. I hope
They
that
were friends
there's-
in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That's what the woman, when I went down there and talked to her,
Yeah.
she said that these people were all friends at one time. Well, the bigger lady didn't want her kids around these other people because they were doing drugs and shit. And this lady, she, you know, decided that wasn't a good environment. This is what the lady told me. It wasn't a good environment for her kids, so she didn't want them around it. Well, then these other two that had got their ass whipped said, oh, you think you're too good for us, blah, blah, you know. And I think one of them's mom is the grandmother of those kids. Anyway, she's like, well, you know, those kids need to see their family. And she's like, well, if y'all quit doing dope, then she said, she told her if they'd quit doing dope, she'd bring the kids over there. And so instead of that, they came down to the store starting shit, and this is what happened.
That's the next lesson of the day or the night, kids. Don't do drugs.
That's a very good.
It's a very good lesson. It's a very good lesson,
One
and,
thing-
I that's sad. You know, it involved kids seeing their family and stuff. I hope
And then
I hope they get resolved. I hope it all gets resolved soon.
I hope that they fight again.
And I haven't been, for me, the resolution, I hope the little Debbie rack is functional
I've
and
seen
it is full.
I have seen it. It's
Is
back.
it like brand
it's
new?
back in working order.
They
Yeah,
got,
it was
brand new?
fine.
they got
Okay.
some double-decker oatmeal pies.
They got anything you want. That's
Man.
little Debbie in there, man. They got all the regular stuff.
That should be that should in its own self be like a podcast. How does little Debbie make those treasures for nothing?
Yeah.
Because you're paying 25
Can you
cents
imagine?
to 50 cents for one.
How's a Nutty Buddy 50 cents?
Yeah, what
Can
goes
you
in? What's the ingredients into it?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine watching this video, finding out when it happened, and think, I went in the very next morning and bought one of those little Debbies. It was in the floor.
It could have been between some butt cheeks.
But
hey,
that's a little Debbie you would want to keep forever. You know what I mean?
Why
I
is
mean,
my-
this is something. This is a definitely a collector's item.
Why is
I would
my
think,
why is
right?
my cosmic brownie smashed? It looked like someone stepped on it.
Hey man, this is smashed a little bit. Is this?
No, it's
get this
good.
for a quarter, maybe.
Well, that's what.
discount.
While we're talking about it too, and I know we talked about it earlier, but the lady said there were absolutely no charges filed.
That is
Nobody got arrested. Nobody got a ticket.
That's incredible. to me.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing happened because
I
of it.
cannot believe that.
If that was a man, not even just a man, if that was me, I'm in jail right now.
Still,
Not even a waiting trial. They're going to go, no, you're just going to go to prison. Like, no trial.
you knocked over a little Debbie rag, sir.
Well, that you know what that
That's prison right there.
the lady that I talked to said, well, you know, she broke her hand in that fight. The bigger
Oh,
lady.
she did.
That's what she said. And she goes,
I bet
and she
I
was
can
back
take
to
one.
work that night.
I know when she
With a
hit it.
broken
I know when she
hand. I
broke
know
it.
when it happened.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Back to work.
Yeah.
broke her hand.
Oh, I said, did she lose her job or anything? I mean, they came in and fought at work,
Yeah.
you know. So I mean, and she goes, no, they didn't. No, she didn't lose her job. She was afraid she was going to. She said, but she said, well, she works with a broke hand all the time now.
Some buttholes put it on Facebook. And
Yeah.
Dude, and I
Lose her
know,
job.
I know. I really did not want to be. I didn't want to be the guy that put it on Facebook.
Well,
or
you should have sent
whatever.
it to me. I would have been the guy. I'd do that shit.
I did
That's
send it
funny,
to you.
dude.
I did send it to you.
Yeah, you did. It was very funny. I laughed and watched it a lot.
It is a great video. It is
watch
a
it.
great video.
Go in there and watch, dude. Just go in there until she throws the white thing into the face and she punches a girl.
Just go watch it and tell us what your favorite part of the
Yeah.
video
Make a
is in the
post.
comments.
Yeah.
Well, it's just comment on the video. I scroll down there and read all the comments. You know,
Yeah, what the hell
I
is
had
it
a few
called?
people send me messages about the whole situation and
Yeah, the title is Mactown Throwdown.
Mactown throw.
we had way better titles, and Ben just ran with that one. We don't know why.
Well, tell us what it should have been called.
What was we going to call
Yeah,
it?
okay, so there you go. It
All right,
wasn't
let me-
better.
Let's see. I'll go to my group. Let's go to my messages here. Hold on.
Dude.
Trent, get back in video and give us a shout out for something. What do you want to plug? What do you want to plug?
I'm going to plug.
Get in the video and do it.
Oh.
Little Debbie. You gonna plug Little
Yeah.
Debbie? You gonna plug the Simple Simons?
There were people commenting on it 19 hours ago.
I know. I'm telling you, it's getting shared. How many shares does it have right now?
566.
See, it was at 556 just a few hours ago.
I like to plug Little Debbie snack cakes. The inflation that we live in daily, Little Debbie, you stay true to the
In
cause.
some way, somehow, they've kept all the
You
costs
kept your
down.
costs down, and we reap all the benefits.
I wonder if this is gonna. I'm sorry for interrupting your plug, but I wonder if the Little Debbie rack going over. I wonder if that's gonna hurt the stock.
They
at
may
all.
have to make up for a new rack, so the prices may go up for a little bit. Not so much a shout out, but also on the whole price thing. I remember as a kid getting pizza. It was like it wasn't a common thing because pizzas used to cost like $25 a piece back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then Little Caesars started making $5 pizzas and $6 pizzas. Now everybody does. Pizza Hut, Domino's. So they could have been doing it the whole time. So shout out to Little Caesars for bringing pizza prices back down to the working class prices.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Something that makes sense.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Do you want to plug anything else, like a something that's closer to your heart?
Oh, I recently got insurance on my side by side through Black Line Insurance. It was,
I wasn't even asking.
it
you
was
to
a
do
very
that.
seamless.
didn't
I
have
just
to
had
do
to had to give a blood sample. A $5,000 down deposit, and
Hey, I appreciate your business too.
oh, thank
by
you,
the
sir.
way.
It was very nice.
It was a good price, right?
It was a great price.
For your brand new side by side. You didn't even say you bought one.
Yeah,
You didn't even tell the people.
I bought a
That's-
Can-Am Defender. There you go.
There you go.
We enjoy it.
And you got good insurance through Blackline Insurance Group. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I need to make a claim, by the way, before we leave here. So I hope you got time.
I do.
Okay.
I can do that.
What you plugging, LJ?
I'd like to plug COVID-19. It has inconvenienced everyone in considerable areas, but it's made my work a lot easier, and I do appreciate that part of it.
And I want to
Not as
plug.
good as a fight, but it's good.
I want to plug all the teachers out there that are having to deal with COVID-19.
I bet you do.
Yeah, those were the correct words.
Come one, come all.
I didn't mean that. For the record. Stop.
God, dude.
Okay.
I'm hurting so bad, dude.
There's a little intro right there.
I just want to give a shout out to all the teachers out there, not just in Oklahoma, but everywhere. I mean, you know, one of my racing buddies, he's having to deal with having to do PE over the internet. You know, he's having to teach this, which is odd to me because I was like, dude, what do you, he's like, I'm just having to work out a lesson plan and have the kids work out and all this kind of stuff. And I just thought that is so weird, you know, and he's having to do this and he's having to do that. And, you know, so, and there's teachers that I'm close to, you know, that are out there, and I see what they're having to deal with COVID-19, and I know it's not easy, and so.
Yep, we appreciate all you teachers out there for sure.
Yep, definitely.
That's no joke.
I'm out, guys. I love y'all.
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. Trent Hardaway, world champion